show in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster, Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius, Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire, Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul, Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest, Lucy. Welcome to Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us, remotely even, because why not? We're coming to you live from our houses in Florida, because that's where we are right now. We don't get out much these days. But we like the fact that we can play games with y'all in the safety of our homes. So first up, who are we? I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Josh.
And we would just like to point out that Ann is wearing a sweater right now.
So
you are joining us.
Lost the poll.
You are joining us this evening for Twitch Plays Middara, where you guys get to do an ongoing campaign of Middara, the Unintentional Malum, with us, where you are rolling dice, controlling one of the characters, making some decisions, and listening to us read a whole lot, because there is a lot of story in this game. If you don't know what Middara is, Josh, tell them what it is.
It's a JRPG style board game. It's a kind of a little bit dungeon crawl, a lot of storytelling. Yeah, you caught me off guard as like the second. So.
Yep.
I think now would be a perfect opportunity to put in the command ! I believe it's Middara, to get the link to head over and check out the gear grid for your character. Sometimes the characters in this game rotate. Twitch, you guys at home will be playing as Nightingale.
Alrighty, so within that link, you can see your gear, all the stuff you've got, and some other stuff too. But Josh, can you request a die? I want to show everyone how you get to roll a die. Because why not? So within this game, there's a whole bunch of different dice that you can roll, and we're going to be requesting dice every so often with that command that you see there, and you can either type in !roll or click on the extension that pops up to roll some dice. It'll then randomly select from people that have rolled, so I'm going to roll one also, because why not? And just like that, nothing's going to happen because the overlay's not working. So Josh is now going to fix it, and when he fixes it, it's going to pull up one of the dice that someone rolled, and just like that. So 4 books for Crystal. Oh, is that like Crystal? I get it. That makes sense. Go ahead and clear that out, Josh. We don't need it anymore. No one wants those books. But right now, we're going to go and read a whole bunch. So everyone, sit back, relax. Grab
No
your favorite
recap from
drink,
last time?
because it's story time. Josh, first give us a recap on what happened last time on Twitch Plays Middara.
Go 2 episodes back.
That's not what I asked. I asked for just last time.
Saphir attacked the group, and we ran away.
Insert huff.
Justice got stuck behind. Zeke went to go help her, and he got captured with her.
Why did Saphir turn on us?
Because he wants to kill Nightingale because she has the moon, whatever.
Melanoma.
Yeah, melanoma.
Good. You guys are all so good.
So then we decided that we're going to do a sneak attack on them. And when we went back to the camp to do a sneak attack, Echo came up and was attacking the Anointed. And we decided to join teams with them and fight them off. We just finished the fight. We just defeated...
Why was Echo attacking the Anointed?
Because she has a thing for Saphir.
Yeah.
Well, she does, but that
bump.
wasn't why she was attacking
They
them.
used to bump
That's
uglies.
gross. Stop talking. Because she was looking for the Pontifex piece. But he doesn't want to give Echo
She
the
was looking for
Pontifex piece.
Saphir's Pontifex piece.
There's so many issues. Because he's worried that Echo is going to unlock Karen.
Sharon.
It's not really Karen. It's Charon.
Sharon.
Right.
It's
Because
Sharon.
she is his minion. And the weird thing about Echo, like, she keeps on dying and then she keeps on popping up. They're like, oh, why does she keep on popping up? She's crazy. Ah. Is because she's attached to this soul stitcher dude who, like, keeps her alive like a little dead puppet. So he's almost like what do they call them?
Marionette.
Nope. Raise dead people.
Necromancer?
Necromancer?
Thank you.
You were definitely making marionette hands.
Yeah, 100% that was
yeah,
Marionette.
but that's the same thing. Yeah, but that's what necromancers do. That's how these are the somatic? What's the name for the
you're doing
symbols for magic?
That's sideways hang loose. See? Hang loose.
Anyway, we went and fought them. All.
And?
And
We won.
I got stuck in a terrible galaxy. And then I came out and we killed the Soul Stitcher. And then we murderated Echo. And Josh didn't read the rules until like 4 rounds in. I think it was it. Somatic, see, I got it. Look at me.
It's like you were there.
Can't remember the word necromancer, but I remember somatic. So what does that tell you about my nerd cred?
It doesn't exist. You don't know what Toad sounds like.
If I had known that that's what Toad had sounded like, I would have put up more of a fight. So you're absolutely correct. Yeah, but that's like I don't remember it because whatever. I'm not having this conversation with you, Matthew.
Because you know you won't win. So we are starting on Pontifex Be Gone, right, Josh?
Correct.
Alrighty, so even more of the camp was now in ruins. A few of the items were burning, and any semblance of order had been destroyed. Echo lay on her side, blood gushing from her wounded abdomen. She clutched at it with both hands, trying to keep a horrific wound from opening more than it already had.
Surrender.
Nightingale shouted, advancing on the fallen girl.
You lost. Don't make us kill you.
Instead of agreeing, Echo struggled to stand. Her breathing was ragged, and she gritted her teeth. Echo drew her dagger, ignoring the fresh wave of blood as she stopped, holding her wound in place.
You're insane.
Remi stared, her eyes flickering to the open injury.
How are you even still alive?
As if in answer to her question, Echo's Esper leaned down. Its massive limbs moved so fast that they were a blur. It sliced away at damaged flesh before pushing everything back into place and sewing her skin back up with thin red thread. Echo screamed as the creature worked, but she did not resist it. Her legs and arms shook, but somehow she remained standing as the Esper worked. The monster closed Echo's wound like an expert surgeon. Echo's cries stopped as the creature finished its grisly work, sweat rolling down her face, and she glanced down at the stitch, touching the skin with the back of one hand. The Anointed closed in around her, pressing past Nightingale and her friends, their weapons all raised with murderous intent. "Stop!" Zephyr shouted, his voice almost as agonized as Echo's. "Please! I just got her back." Ezra glanced backwards, looking up at Zephyr with frustration on his face. Josh, you're doing Ezra.
She's not the woman you know, Saphir. Your sympathy for
Let's
this
do a voice.
is going to get us all killed.
Brea and Ezra both closed in around Echo, who now seemed like she could barely hold her daggers. After what she'd done, Echo probably deserved it, but Nightingale didn't want to watch.
Zephyr.
Echo pleaded, her voice cracking. The insanity in her voice was gone, replaced by desperate fear. The Esper moved before the 2 remaining Anointed members could bring their weapons in for a kill. More thick thread lashed out at Echo from above, wrapping tightly around her arms and yanking her backward out of the way of their attacks. "Echo!" Zephyr stumbled toward her, snatching his sword from the ground as he went. The Esper seemed to turn, facing into the abandoned streets and the jungle beyond. It glided away, trailing red thread as it went.
Zephyr, help me, please.
Echo pleaded. The desperation in her voice was unbearable.
He's using me.
She was choking on her tears now.
Karen Chad won't let me go. He won't let me die. I'm trapped with this monster. He's forcing me to do his will.
The slack on the thread around her wrists abruptly ran out, and Echo was jerked violently backwards. The Esper didn't seem concerned with where it moved or what happened to Echo. It dragged her through trees, slamming her into fallen rubble and foliage. Zephyr shoved through the stunned anointed, chasing Echo into the night. Nightingale followed, her friends close behind. They weren't nearly fast enough.
Zephyr!
Echo's voice was so far away now, despite their mad sprint to catch up.
Help!
Her voice twisted into a distant scream of agony, and then faded into silence. New story flag! Mark the story flag Grievous Wounds on the adventure sheet. Continue to We Can Save Her! Page 322. Remi made her way through the wreckage to where Zeke had been tied, grinning weakly at him.
You need any help?
Yeah. He twisted around, holding his bound hands upward to her. Thanks. Remi dropped down beside him. From the look of it, the Anointed had given him a serious beating. Bruises covered most of his arms, and one of his eyes was swollen shut.
Damn.
She wasn't sure what to say.
Are you okay?
Yeah, he croaked. Just got my ass handed to me. No big deal. He tried to flash one of those famous smiles, but it was weak. Just a couple of cracked ribs, I think. He clutched vainly at his chest, where she can see a particularly large bruise through a rip in his clothes. Remi cut the ropes from around his wrists. Zeke stumbled towards Justice, picking up a dagger someone had dropped in the fighting. Here, Zeke offered, slicing through Justice's bindings with a single careful cut. How's your neck? Justice might have been in better shape than Zeke, but you wouldn't know it by simply looking at her. There was a long stream of red down her neck and onto her chest. Though the wound didn't look serious, it did look big enough to need stitches.
It's fine.
She said curtly, snatching the dagger from him. She stalked away towards the wreckage of the camp, not looking back at him. She strode to her bound book and dropped next to it. She sliced through the rope, holding her book closed, pulling it open in a single smooth gesture. She looked for a moment like an angry librarian, hunched over the pages and inspecting them for damage. Only then, apparently, satisfied, did she finally rise, turning back to Zephyr. Only two of the other Anointed had survived the battle. Zephyr had a medical kit open in front of him on the ground and was on his knees, tending to their wounds. Both looked to be in shock, their eyes wide and staring. Freya! Ezra! I'm sorry, Zephyr was whispering. But we can still carry on our mission. We can still stop Sharon. Find solace the others won't have died in vain. Justice interrupted him, walking right up to Zephyr and slapped him in the face, so hard that he nearly fell backwards.
You deserve so much more than that, you bastard.
Justice screeched, indicating the ruined camp.
Going into Gehenna without me was one thing, but turning on my friends, the ones who saved your damn life, you imprisoned Zeke and I and drove the others off, and how did that work out for you? Huh? When Echo showed up, we were at a severe disadvantage, and look how many people died. You screwed us. What are you going to do? Stop Sharon with your army of 2 anointed members?
She let go of her book, but it stubbornly remained in the air beside her. The book's pages were open with a faint light coming from within, almost as though she had a spell ready to attack him with any moment. Zephyr didn't strike back. He didn't draw his sword. He only dropped back down beside Ezra. The man was wounded on his table. The man was wounded on his table? It's odd. Zephyr silently wrapped a fresh length of bandage around one of the man's arms. Are you done? Zephyr asked quietly. Justice looked livid. Zeke was concerned she might actually explode.
I've not even started. I crossed the continent for you, Zephyr. You made me believe you could help me control my powers. You made me believe you were doing the right thing. And what was it for? The stupid Pontifex? An artifact you knew nothing about other than you wanted to keep it away from Sharon. Whoever the hell he is. I haven't done anything good with my powers, and I sure as hell can't control them. You never planned on helping me at all. The only thing you wanted was to use me for revenge or whatever you're doing. You don't give a damn about me.
She stopped screaming then, mouth open and chest heaving from the effort. Zephyr continued his work, seemingly unfazed by this outburst. Yes, Zephyr said, his voice flat. Almost all that is true. He got to his feet, offering Ezra a tiny glowing potion vial. which he swallowed without objection. Zephyr stood up straight, meeting Justice's eyes.
I'm willing to do anything it takes to protect Middara from Sharon and the Council of Abhorrence.
He spoke with an unapologetic tone.
Some things are bigger than any of us are. Keeping the whole of Middara safe sometimes requires terrible sacrifices. To the ignorant, maybe that looks evil.
Zephyr shook his head slowly.
But you haven't seen the things that I have, Justice. I know Sharon better than anyone else could. I saw the moment of his birth and the terrible destruction he would cause. If he ever escapes the suspended tomb, Eleni will have only hours to regret doing nothing or not doing what was necessary to keep him trapped. I'm sorry you feel betrayed. I'm sorry you can't understand that everything we've done has been for the good of it all. I didn't lie when I said your powers would be used to do good. Your view is just too small to can't comprehend what that means.
You talk about doing what is necessary, Zephyr. Damocles had come from nowhere, charging towards Zephyr. Your own selfish purpose left that filthy murderer escape. Was that necessary? Damocles pointed with his weapon off into the dark, growling. She didn't just get my mother killed. Your girlfriend just killed your own people right in front of you. She would have killed all of us, and yet you just let her go.
Yet again, you only see the small picture.
Zephyr snapped.
She could be a powerful ally if we're able to free her.
That's a shitty excuse for you to get what you want, Damocles scoffed. Echo gets to live while everyone else gets slaughtered. Damocles moved to close the distance between them, his weapon arm twitching, but Nightingale reached out, putting one hand on his shoulder. Damocles reluctantly lowered his weapon again, glowering. Nightingale stepped forward.
On the subject of murderers, how about we rewind and talk about you trying to kill me?
Nightingale folded her arms.
I'm a goddamn princess of Alania, and you nearly beat the only son of Lo Zhang to death, and then took him.
Hostage!
Oh, Lord. Even if we forget that you let Echo go, you think we're going to just pretend that didn't happen?
Zephyr shrugged, snapping his medical kit closed.
Do whatever the hell you want, princess,
He said coolly.
I don't regret acting to stop one of Sharon's agents. If killing one person, royalty or not, is what it takes to prevent 100,000 deaths, there must be no hesitation. It's unfortunate that you were infected. I'm sorry the Maluma took your life away. But I'm not sorry about trying to kill the parasite. I'll shoulder the guilt if it means the rest of Eleni will live.
So the ends justify the means, huh?
Nightingale replied dryly. Zephyr nodded.
None of you have any idea how dangerous the Maluma is. We're talking about the personal esper of a self-proclaimed god. It is loyal, eternally patient, and overwhelmingly strong. It is not a matter of if it will consume you. It is a matter of when.
He walked a few steps closer to Nightingale. Damocles and Remi both tensed on either side of her, but Zephyr didn't make any hostile gesture. He just looked her right in the face.
I can see it in you now, princess.
Zephyr scanned her face more carefully.
Its sinuous tendrils wrap tighter and tighter around your soul every day. It fills your nights with nightmares. It twists your desires and manipulates your perceptions. Eventually, you will dream its dreams and think its thoughts. On that day, you will serve the Maluma without even knowing it.
He paused, staring.
I can see it in your eyes. You know what I'm talking about.
Nightingale pulled back, looking away from him.
Nightingale is in control.
Remi argued, stepping up beside her friend and patting one of her shoulders, reassuring her.
Admit it. You were wrong about her.
Just because Nightingale is herself now doesn't mean she'll be forever.
Zephyr frowned.
The Maluma will take control, and it will be all the more dangerous because of who she is. Some farmer out in the middle of nowhere could be taken, and the Maluma would only have one man to use. With Nightingale under its control, it could manipulate all of Valenia. It is as patient as its master. If the demon needed a century to gradually pick off the royal family before it took control, it could wait.
You don't seem to have a problem with parasites when it comes to Echo, Damocles snarled. Zephyr glanced at him.
If you think I won't admit that I don't want her to die because I care for her, you're wrong. I know my judgment's clouded, but there's a reason in it. Echo has secrets that could help us against Sharon. Nightingale has nothing to do with that end.
Well, what are we supposed to do now, Zephyr?
Nightingale asked, drawing her weapon.
There's no way to know you won't try to kill me again. But you may be right about this Sharon guy, and we can't ignore that either. It looks like you need our help if you want to save Echo, whether she can actually help us against Sharon or not. You can see how this puts us in a bad position.
You can't seriously be considering, Damocles began, his shock joined by several others. Rook and Zeke sounded equally indignant.
Everyone shut up!
Nightingale yelled while stuffing her face, glaring at them all.
Just because he's an asshole doesn't mean we can't listen to what he has to say. I can't ignore a threat to Elenia like this. And Echo, as much as I hate to admit it, she's being used as a puppet, almost literally.
Nightingale pinched her finger and thumb near each other and held up her hand.
I'm sure you can all understand how I can relate to that just a little bit.
Nightingale put a hand on her hip and faced her friends.
You're all here trying to free me from the Maluma, right? What Zephyr is doing? Isn't that different?
She paused, letting the weight of her statement sink in. None of the others objected, not even Oakley's. Nightingale cleared her throat.
All right, Zephyr. Why don't you tell us what you think should happen?
You're still in control,
Zephyr began.
Cooperation's still possible. During the attack, Echo managed to steal the piece of the Pontifex I had, making you the only one with a piece still. We can't allow Sharon to take control of the assembled artifact. It'd doom us all, and you need it if you're to have any hope of extracting the Maluma. I propose we track Echo down and recover the piece she stole. She couldn't be that far from here.
The piece you gave her, you mean?
Justice grumbled. Zephyr ignored her.
Our chances are better if we work together. The Anointed are not at full strength.
He gestured at the two injured Anointed, both resting now.
But we know this enemy better than you do. With our help, you might even be able to get all three pieces together in time.
If we don't,
Nightingale asked, meeting his eyes.
will you try to kill me again?
Zephyr shrugged.
Yes, but as long as you're in control, I'll not make another attempt.
Nightingale turned that over in her head. There was some small part, buried deep in her subconscious, that was grateful to know someone wouldn't hesitate to cut down the Maluma. Being a slave until she died, forced to attack the one she loved and possibly bring terrible danger to Elenia, was a horrifying thought. At least someone would be working to prevent that. Of course, Zephyr had already been wrong about her once. Would she be pleading just as earnestly that she was still herself when he attacked her next time?
Suppose we tell you to go eat a dick. Maybe we do it all ourselves. And you can get the hell out of my kingdom.
Nightingale asked. Zephyr paused thoughtfully, looking back to the injured Anointed at the table.
We can't win against Echo alone, not at our present strength. I'd return to the rest of the Anointed far away in the west. After a failure like this, we would renew our forces and return.
For Echo or for me?
Nightingale shifted uncomfortably.
They will see the danger in both, as I do,
Zephyr explained.
My own judgment has been somewhat clouded. They will not be as merciful.
Rook stepped up beside Nightingale, drawing his weapon and hefting it over his shoulder.
What if we take preemptive steps to prevent that threat? You already attacked both ruling families, and you openly stated your intentions to kill the second princess of Elenia. If we let you go, you're telling us that Nightingale will have assassins after her? I think King Balthazar would expect me to kill you in order to protect his daughter.
Zephyr stepped between Rook and the injured Anointed. He drew his sword in one quick motion, then dropped it on the ground, spreading his arms wide. He turned to face Nightingale.
We're in no place to negotiate, Princess.
Zephyr spoke plainly.
Every charge Rook makes is true. If you order it, I will let you kill me yourself. But you must decide. Decide if you want our blood on your hands. Do you want to be responsible for killing a man who has dedicated his life to protecting Middara from Sharon and his agents? Just because I'd kill you without hesitation doesn't mean that I wouldn't be for a kingdom you've sworn to protect. When the Council of Abhorrence is victorious at last, and everyone you love is dying around you, those deaths will be on your head. Can you live with that?
Are you seriously listening to this asshole? Damocles stepped up and shoved Zephyr, sending him back a couple steps. Zephyr said nothing and simply smiled wickedly at Damocles. Damocles snarled and turned towards Nightingale. His girlfriend killed my mom. I'm not here to kill some mythical goddess that a bunch of tinfoil hat cultists are after. I tagged along to avenge the awful things that have already been done to those that our family is sworn to protect. Do what you will, Princess, but I'll not help save Echo. I'm here to bring her justice she deserves. Nightingale nodded in thought, then felt one of Rook's steady hands on her shoulder, and she looked up to meet his eyes.
You don't have to decide.
Rook said.
Balthazar made me your sword and shield. I can make the decision, so you don't have to carry the burden.
No.
Nightingale said, her voice stern.
Only Zeke or I have the authority to pass judgment like this. This is the burden that comes with being royalty.
Pick up the sword.
The Maluma hissed in her mind. Without being able to stop herself, Nightingale obeyed. She walked a few feet away to the body of the fallen anointed and lifted the shining metal from beside its corpse. It still glittered with Echo's blood.
Zephyr will hunt you to Midara's furthest shore.
The Maluma's voice was loud and angry.
He tells you lies about your safety so your allies will spare him. But as soon as he has another chance, he will kill us. And your friends will try to protect you. And he will kill them too. It is not just our lives, it is theirs as well. We must save.
Gosh, how come you read better when putting that voice on?
I don't know.
Nightingale felt her arm lift of its own accord, turning the sword in her hand. She felt a sudden wave of energy. Nightingale wanted to move, to act. The Maluma was right about her friends. Zephyr had tried to kill them too. Her death wouldn't guarantee their safety from Zephyr. She frantically replied to the Maluma against her better judgment.
So, what? What do we do here?
Though everyone around her thought it was a question to them, the Maluma understood it was directed at it.
Nothing. Let him go. Killing him isn't in your interest. You might lose. Letting him join you is obviously stupid and dangerous for everyone. Inaction is the best option here.
Nightingale twitched the weapon in her hand.
Let him go.
The Maluma repeated. Nightingale didn't feel angry at the suggestion. Instead, she noticed that there was something strange about the Maluma's advice. Nightingale couldn't think clearly. Her mind was foggy, yet through the haze she could feel something within the Maluma. Like its feelings were a two-way street. Its intense emotion was flowing through her in the same way she knew it felt her own feelings. Nightingale stumbled a bit and blinked. Rook flinched as if he was going to have to move to catch her, but he didn't. Nightingale focused harder, and in that moment, she swore she could feel the Maluma's feelings. It was fear. It wasn't afraid she would let Zephyr join her. It also wasn't afraid that she'd let him go, even though the threat of his return seemed very real.
Why? Why are you afraid I'll kill him?
Nightingale said aloud, though it was a whisper. She was confused at the Maluma's sudden compassion for Zephyr and wanted to know why it suddenly cared for his life. It said nothing, and Nightingale's anger returned with a silent snarl.
Well, Princess?
Zephyr's voice cut through the haze, snapping her back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Sorry, I had to. He stood still, blocking Brea and Ezra. He continued to hold his arms out, his chest unprotected and no weapons in his hands.
What is your judgment?
So, Special, Justice was freed from her bonds. She is no longer unselectable. Special, Zeke was freed from his bonds. He is no longer unselectable. Before continuing, the players must choose the active group. Nightingale must make a decision. Do we either kill Zephyr? He's already proven he's dangerous. Let Zephyr help. His expertise could be useful. Or let Zephyr go. You won't kill him, but you can't trust him. So, chat, you get to vote on what we are going to do here. We've got a little bit of a choose-your-own-adventure element. So, do you want to kill Zephyr? Do you want Zephyr's help? Or do we just let Zephyr walk off into the sunset like some cool Western movie or something? Josh, what do you want to do?
He's an enemy of my enemy, so you keep him close?
You're the sword and shield, so like you get a say in this, right?
Yeah. Like,
Did you just mush together two sayings?
yep.
Did you just mush together the enemy of my enemy is my friend and keep my friends close and my enemies closer? And
Yep.
you've decided to put that as he's the enemy of my enemy, so keep him close.
Yep, correct.
I mean,
That's
it's a logical jump.
I mean, I definitely, I followed it. I followed it. It just is not what I was expecting.
Well, you know that's Josh for you, just keeping you on your toes all the time.
The enemy of my enemy, therefore.
That I want to keep close because he's a nice guy.
With a pleasant aroma.
With a pleasant aroma.
Oh, yeah.
What does he smell like,
Next
Josh?
question.
What does Severe smell like? I don't know. What does Batman smell like? Bat
Probably
cologne?
bats.
He probably smells sweaty. He's in that leather suit all day and he's running around like an animal. He definitely stinks.
Bat
Bat
guano?
nipples.
Does he smell like bat guano?
If he poops in his suit, then maybe.
I mean, do you think he goes to the bathroom in a suit? I feel like it's a little hard to get in and out.
I mean, he might. I feel like he's got all those different like gadgets and stuff on it that he probably has a poop extraction system.
What are you two doing?
Hey, video game for
What is wrong with you?
Josh, can you put up a second poll of do you think Batman poops in his suit?
I can only put up one poll at a time.
Oh
What was
my
that?
God, I hate you all.
I didn't hear what you said, Josh.
I said I can't put up two polls at the same time, so no.
Oh,
Oh
Sorry.
boy. What a shame.
that's disappointing.
Where did you run off to, Matt?
Poop. I'm making a decaf coffee.
What did you walk into, video game for? Just, normal business.
Bat poop. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
So right now,
Oh.
we got everyone back, and we're trying to decide what we're going to do with Saphir. So we could either kill him, we could let him join, or we could let him go.
I actually agree with Shadowner. He probably does smell like patchouli and sandalwood.
You think Zephyr smells like patchouli?
Batman.
Do you think Batman
Don't
has
you
a
think
bat
Batman
clone?
smells like?
No, I definitely think Zephyr smells like patchouli.
Why don't you think Batman smells like patchouli? And
Because he's
Rest-
bougie.
yeah, but
He probably smells like. He probably smells like.
Do you not remember the movie where he goes to train with Ra's al Ghul? That was kind of hippie-ish. He probably used patchouli.
Ra's al
Or do you-
Ghul smells.
Please,
like
Batman
patchouli.
smells like vengeance.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul probably smells like patchouli, and he learned from Ra's al Ghul. So,
I
ipso
don't know about
facto,
that.
Batman smells like patchouli.
He doesn't come off as worldly, though. He comes off as like Bruce Wayne. So he probably smells like Aqua di Gio or something.
I do like Aqua di Gio.
All right, so it looks like it's
Definitely
anonymous. We're
smells
going to let Saphir help.
It's
You
what?
said it's anonymous?
Unanimous.
Did you say it's anonymous?
No.
Oh my God! Let's do it again.
Nope, not doing it
It's
again.
what?
Unanimous.
I liked
It's
it more when
synonymous?
it was,
Synonymous?
the antonym of it. Did you check your thesaurus? Why didn't we kill him?
And the thesauruses went extinct a couple million years ago.
Ron's Ghoul smells like the Lazarus Pits. Yeah, what do you think the Lazarus Pits smell like?
It's patchouli.
Wax.
It's just a pit of patchouli.
I think it
What is
smells...
patchouli?
Isn't it a flower?
I don't know. Josh,
Guys,
ask your Google
this
what
is
a
where
patchouli is.
I think I could say that word.
Can you try?
Patchouli?
Yeah, it's not hard. Where are we?
How do you spell it,
what page are we
Josh?
going to?
346. Reluctant
346.
partnership.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a plant.
Reluctant partnership.
But... What?
Stupid girl. Allowing this man to travel with us will put us in constant danger. It's only a matter of time before he kills us both.
Nightingale ignored the Maluma's promptings, just as she always ignored the monster's attempts to manipulate her. She saw no reason to argue when it went to argue with it when it wasn't going to be honest about its own motivations anyways. Nightingale dropped the sword where she stood, stalking up to Zephyr and yanking him down by his neck, so his face was only inches away from hers.
All right, listen up.
She growled.
I don't know what kind of stick you got rammed up your ass, but let's get a few things straight.
Zephyr didn't move.
If the Maluma works for Charon, then Charon's my enemy too. And the enemy of my
tightened her
enemy
grip.
needs to be close. We know what tools we need to get the Maluma out of my head, and nobody knows more about finding Charon and his agents than you. We're on the same side, and you're going to help me. I'm not letting this thing steal my body.
She shoved him back. You can't do this, Damocles shouted, pointing angrily at Zephyr with his weapon. This bastard tried to kill you. He let my mother's killer just walk away. If you let him live, there's no telling when he might stab you in the back. Nightingale spun around, glaring at Damocles.
It's my decision. Put down your weapon.
She kept glaring at him until he obeyed.
For now, we need his help. He can't give us that help if he's dead.
We don't need anything from him. Damocles raised his weapon again, stalking towards Zephyr. We can do this without him. Zeke moved to stop Damocles, pushing on his shoulder. Hey, chill out for a second. We get that you're upset, but this isn't the guy who killed your mom. Don't take out what Hendrix did on him. That was apparently the wrong thing to say, because Damocles shouted with rage, shoving Zeke violently back, sending him into the mud. It's his fault Echo got away, Damocles roared. He tried to kill Nightingale. He beat the shit out of you in justice, and he got his friends killed. You want me to keep listing his fatal screw-ups? Back off, Damocles, Zeke shouted, sitting up. He was shaky, but determined. We follow Nightingale's orders here. She's the one in danger. I follow my own orders, and he needs to pay. Damocles' face twisted, and he moved to strike out. Just a step between Zephyr and Damocles. Behind her, the Tome of Theodosian was already open, and a faint arcane diagram glowed within her light.
Stop.
She said.
Hammer time.
Damocles froze, staring at her. This man can't be trusted. He admits if we let him go, he'll send assassins after us. We don't have a choice.
We do.
Justice countered.
We can keep him close because the enemy of my enemy needs to be kept close.
Because he's
Give
not
him-
he's not my friend, but he's like kind of my friend.
Like a frenemy, you know?
He's my frenemy. The enemy of my enemy is my frenemy.
He's my frenemy. The chance to make good on his word. He has the same enemies we do. For all we know, Zephyr might be the only one who can help save Nightingale. He may be the only one who can stop Charon. If what he says about Echo is true, then Charon is really the one to blame for your mother's death.
Damocles hesitated another moment more, looking between Justice and the man behind her. He nodded reluctantly, sheathing his weapon. I'm watching you, asshole. Even look at me wrong, and I'll cut you ear to ear.
I
He
love
turned
him
and
so
stalked-
much.
He turned and stalked back to where he had pushed Zeke out. It's like down, without the D. lowering his head to help him back up. Hey, sorry about that. You all right? Zeke groaned, taking the offered hand. I'm great, he muttered. Just great. Nightingale ignored them, watching Zephyr as he made his way forward to collect his sword from where she had dropped it. He brushed the dirt from the blade with 2 fingers, then snapped it into the sheath.
If you're going to be traveling together, you should get to know the Anointed. Granted, there are only 2 more of us here.
He walked back to the low table, where the last of the Anointed rested from the battle. Both were fairly beat up, though none of the wounds seemed debilitating.
This is
Could we go
Ezra.
back in time and kill him just for his voice?
Yeah, he said, gesturing first to the young man.
I thought I saw some of you playing cards with him earlier.
Zephyr shrugged.
In either case, the one beside him, is Brea.
At Zephyr's prompting, they both rose to their feet, nodding and shaking her hand with an awkward formality.
We're going then.
Zephyr muttered at them.
Get what you need. We won't be coming back.
They nodded to him before slipping away into the camp to follow his order, silent and obedient. Only when they were gone did Zephyr continue.
I apologize for my reaction earlier, Princess. I was wrong about you. You aren't a monster, yet. If you were the Maluma slave, you never would have spared me. Attacking you was premature.
You're damn right it was premature.
Nightingale agreed.
There'll be repercussions for that. One day.
One day,
Zephyr continued.
I will be right, and the Maluma will take you for itself. When that day comes, I'll be there with my sword at your throat.
We'll get this damn thing out of me long before that happens.
Nightingale said stubbornly. Zephyr smiled slightly.
I hope you're right, Princess. Elenia would be poor to give up royalty. Who actually cares about the consequences of her actions?
New party member. Zephyr joins the party. Players must immediately set up Zephyr by going through the following steps. Reveal small, medium, and large hidden cards UM44. To access the Zephyr Zephyr Al-Kashif adventure card, story item, and companion cards. Josh, what's his name?
Zephyr Al-Kashif.
You did better than I did, to be 100% honest with you. Zephyr gains the Blade of Babylon story item. The Ezra and Brea story companions may be equipped to any adventurer. Zephyr joins the party with a random rare core, relic, or armor, and 50 gold. Then Zephyr gets 39 XP. He may learn any disciplines he has enough XP for. Record all the information on the adventurer sheet. From this point forward, players may choose to play as Zephyr using his adventurer card. Players are still limited to 4 adventures per group. Players choose the active group. Mark the story flag Reluctant Partnership on the adventure sheet. Flag check. Does the party have the story flag last of her?
No, we do not.
Coterie? What? How do you pronounce that?
Coterie? I don't know.
Pottery?
So, real quick,
Continue to us.
let's look what we just got.
I was just saying continue to a sign of echo, page 335. But let's look at Zephyr's card. So he's got Divine Providence, which is exhaust. Zephyr is guided by a higher purpose. When Zephyr is dealt damage by an opponent, an ally within sphere of influence may gain an intervention token. Adventurers may not exceed 1 intervention token each. Remind me again what an intervention token is. You get to re-roll a die.
That's a reroll. Yep.
That's just an exhaust ability, so you could use it every turn.
Yep.
That's nice. He's got a conviction of 2 purples and a casting of a purple. Josh, what's the rest of his stats?
He's got good lore.
He's got 4 presence, 6 lore, 3 agility, 3 perception, and 2 strength. He's got 12 health,
9 defense and 6 movement.
9 defense, and 6 movement.
Here's his cool sword.
The Blade of Babylon. It is got a black, green, and blue. Is that correct,
Yep,
Josh?
that's correct.
2-handed weapon, sword. It gives you +1 armor. It's a sword Zambato heavy for Zephyr only. Exhaust. At the corresponding time, do one of the following. When making an attack, you deal an additional damage equal to the difference by which you hit. Ooh, that's nice. After resolving an attack you made, make an attack against a different target. When determining damage, all damage dealt is magic damage. When determining damage, add a purple die of damage. You also get +2 physical damage per shield and +3 physical damage per star.
It's pretty good.
That's so lame that it's Zephyr only. It's the upgrade to the Zambado.
That's a swanky weapon right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked a random core for Saphir because those were the more expensive items. So this is the random core we got.
We got the God Machine, which is +4 defense. It has an exhaust ability for counter, and then exhaust move up to 3 spaces. This movement has flight. Josh, I believe you have this one already, right?
I do not have this one. This is what I want. It's rare gear. So it's our first.
Oh yeah, you just happened to pick it.
It was random.
Just perfect for Rook's build. Really suspect there. So Ezra Wolf is a companion, so he's got a flip ability of throw, purple. So he's throwing his ninja daggers. And passive ability, you may spend 2 SP to unflip this card. So 2 SP to throw a purple dagger, essentially.
Redo it.
Yeah.
This is probably going on night.
And then Brea MacArthur, a companion, exhaust when determining the force of a spell or making a conviction check, add +2 to the roll. Ooh, that's nice. What's on the flip side, Joshy?
No flip side.
That's... So how do
it's
the
just an
companions work?
It's just every person can have a companion. You already have a companion, so you have Gage.
She does?
Yep.
Oh, she's
I have
got a
Gage.
kitty cat. I like that you
Yeah.
have a cat and other people can have actual warriors. You've got a cat.
Meow.
So who was Ursi?
What? Ursi's the nymph.
He's right, you know.
Okay.
Why?
Because I'm cheating.
Okay, so we're going to a sign of Echo, page 335.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, we're jumping backwards now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of goes all over the place. That's why I put actual page numbers on there.
Shadowner says God Machine has an asterisk on top. What up with
Read the
that?
flavor text.
Faith not required. Oh.
Just a joke.
Nightingale found Zephyr again once she had finished packing. Clearing her throat to get his attention, he was going between the tents, collecting small objects from each one and tucking them away reverently into his pack. There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to what he grabbed. As Zephyr turned, around, Nightingale found he'd grabbed a little sketch pad from the most recent tent, along with a tiny, carefully whittled wooden statue of a fox.
What is it, princess?
Zephyr tucked both items away in his pack, not meeting her eyes.
What are you doing?
Nightingale asked.
Remembering the dead.
He said after a long silence.
Many of the anointed were my friends, and all the rest were known to someone in the order. I will bring some small token back from each one, so that the ones they love can remember them.
Nightingale shifted uneasily on her feet. She should have guessed someone like Zephyr wouldn't be looking for loot. Nothing she had seen had, when he opened his pack had even looked remotely valuable.
That's sweet.
He shrugged.
Ageless life on Middara isn't always a blessing, princess. When we lose the ones we love, we can be without them for much longer than a single lifetime.
He shook his head.
If you're not careful, it's easy to forget that you ever existed at all. Are your friends ready to depart?
Not quite.
She looked up again, shaking away the guilt, now feeling shaking away the guilt she now felt at interrupting him.
The Esper controlling Echo. Did you recognize it?
Zephyr's expression darkened.
I did not. Whatever that thing was, it isn't from any realm I'm familiar with. I'm certain Sharon is responsible for it one way or another.
A voice spoke suddenly.
I can tell you what it was.
The voice didn't come from her mind, as it usually did. The Maluma was suddenly floating beside her, but still didn't seem visible to anyone but her. Nightingale nearly fell over in shock, staring at its ever-shifting form. Of course, she'd seen it often enough that she no longer felt existential dread and overwhelming nausea, as its impossible contortions and ever-changing configuration of organs. It had only startled her.
I know the Esper you saw using that human. The one who nearly defeated you. I could tell you everything you need to know to track it down.
The Maluma continued. Zephyr tensed, eyes narrowing.
What's wrong?
Nightingale stepped back, out of reach if Zephyr decided to attack. Just because they were working together didn't mean she had any illusions about his loyalty. The less he knew about the influence the Maluma did have over her, the better. That didn't mean she could outright lie, though. He would see for what it was.
Nothing.
She muttered.
I'm in control, but the Maluma does try to talk to me. If I ignore it, it'll stop.
She turned, walking to where her friends were gathering with the supplies, ready to leave. When she was out of earshot of Zephyr, she whispered to the Maluma.
Tell me what it is.
The Maluma floated along through the air, its amorphous shape shifting as it did so. It looked like an amoeba, dragging itself through the air beside her with a gigantic toothed pseudopod.
Give me your body.
Creepy, it said.
Mm-hmm.
And I will explain everything.
Eat shit.
Nightingale spat.
Last time I did that, you attacked my friends. That's not happening.
The creature only laughed, slinking away from her. It seemed to move through the wreckage of the camp, inspecting the damage. It passed harmlessly through the physical objects, making no mark on the world. Nightingale looked away.
Just leave already.
The laughter only got louder.
I'm not going away. Nightingale, I'm always with you, whether you can see me or not.
Rook walked up beside her, gently resting a hand on her shoulder.
Is everything all right, Nightingale? You look like...
Like I'm seeing things?
She groaned.
I am, yeah. You know who I think, who? You know who. It thinks I'm stupid enough to give it control to help us find Echo. Not a chance in hell.
Rook looked even more concerned. He looked in the same general direction Nightingale was looking, though she knew he couldn't see the Maluma. Rook's eyes lingered too long in the wrong places. There we go.
That sounds awful, being forced to see things like that.
He said. Nightingale opened her mouth to respond. The Maluma drifted over to Zephyr, opening a wide, gigantic mouth and swallowing him whole. For a second, Zephyr vanished from view, until he came walking out the other side of the Maluma, phasing through it like an object clipping in a video game. The Maluma laughed. Nightingale shivered.
Yeah, it's pretty unnerving. At least it doesn't usually stick around for that long.
Excuse me, Nightingale. Damocles spoke from a few feet away, breaking her concentration. He pointed to a patch on the ground not far from where he was standing. It looks like that's where Echo was dragged away from camp. She put up a fight against that creature. The tracks are deep enough for us to follow.
Perfect.
Nightingale smiled smugly at the Maluma's ghostly form. She wouldn't be giving up any of her freedom today.
Everybody, we've got to lead. Let's get going before this trail gets cold.
Flag check. Does the party have the story flag? Experienced guide.
We do.
Continue to guidance on page 337. You know what that means.
Bodrick time!
Yeah, boy! They walked in subdued silence through the hills, the ruins of Gahana, and out into the swamps. It was still dark, though a faint glow on the horizon promised sunrise soon. All the while, Nightingale was conscious of Padrick following along behind her, silent and watchful. He hadn't tried to influence her decision, either to persuade her to spare Zephyr's life or to convince her to kill him. Padrick had simply been there to fight beside her without objection.
Is this what adventuring with my sister was like?
Nightingale asked, finding that her voice was still shaking from adrenaline. Padrick took a few seconds to answer, considering. If you're wondering if Shayla's had to make hard decisions too, then yes, she did. Padrick kept his voice down, just above a whisper. He met her eyes, but seemed to lack any of the fear she'd seen from Zeke. There was only concern and gentle support. That is what we call the burden of leadership, Nightingale. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Mm-hmm.
You don't think I made the wrong choice?
Nightingale asked. He shrugged. I think you thought you made the right choice. Now we'll just have to wait and see. Burden of choice doesn't just extend to the moment of decision. It continues on to the consequences as well. Whatever those are, you'll have your own to make. You will have to own them. All the rest of us have to do is support you in the choice you made.
Like pwn, but not.
Gonna read your line, yeah. No?
Did my audio go?
No, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear us? Do 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 do.
Do 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 do. Josh, you're Nightingale now.
Thanks.
Nightingale stopped to turn and hug him briefly.
I wish everyone did.
He smiled slightly. Shayla's just gave me plenty of practice. The rest will come around.
And what if they don't?
Nightingale frowned, looking down at the swamp floor to make sure her footing was secure before turning to catch up with the rest. Then they might start a weapon shop in Ramstead, you know. Get away from your crazy arson drama. Patrick grinned wildly.
Thanks.
Nightingale said, looking disappointed at his answer. Though he was obviously joking in an attempt to make her feel better, she couldn't help but wonder if anything really happened between him and Shayless. Continue to the Trail to Echo on page 337. Rook and Dam Oakley's led the way as they followed the trail that Echo had left through the wilderness. Between two of them, they kept the group on course. The sun rose as they hiked, though only sparse rays found their way through the thick canopy of looming trees. Rook soon felt the oppressive heat and humidity soaking them to the skin and drawing a cloud of biting insects to them. Oh, they're in Florida. However unpleasant their trip was, it looked like Echo had a far worse experience. Her trail had not been chosen carefully, cutting straight across water, logs and rocks, and through thickets of thorny plants. Rook found occasional bloodstains and bits of ripped cloth snagged on sharp branches, apparent injuries from her hasty departure. The Esper controlling Echo didn't seem concerned with her comfort. Then again, Rook considered the possibility that Echo might have intentionally struggled violently in order to leave a trail so that she could be found. The trail continued for some miles, until morning had turned to afternoon and they found their way to a patch of thick swamp. On the other side of the murky water, Rook could make out an opening in the ground, and no more trail on the other side. It looked treacherous to cross, and its writhing ground signaled the presence of something that looked nasty enough to try and stop them if they tried. Rook held his hand up, stopping the group.
Hey guys,
He said, pointing.
I think there's a cave over there. Judging by how this trail ends, I'll bet money that Echo's inside of it.
Damocles stood at the edge where the ground became something wet. Let's go get then. Let's get going then. Ugh, I'm itching to fight. Remi scratched at her bare legs.
I'm itching not to be in the swamp.
Should have worn pants.
Rook chastised, glancing back.
Yeah?
Remi said sarcastically.
And you should have worn a shirt.
This sounds oddly familiar. Continue to the Murky Lake, page 338. I don't. Oh, it's the encounter.
Yep.
Oh, it's not that one. Amongst the swampy plants, you see some viscera, a physical piece of Echo that was cut from her body in the previous scuffle. You consider that this means that you must be on the right path. The girl must have physically sewn back together by her Esper as they retreated, healing any damage that was dealt. To the north, you see a cave entrance. Due to the pattern of blood, it's likely she's inside. However, between you and the cave entrance, you see a mass of squirming tentacles moving through the plants of the swamp. Somewhere in the muck, there must be a corpse collector.
That's disgusting.
Yay! Okay. So, the Murky Lake end conditions, an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit tile. Special encounter rules, entangled loot, boxes from what must have been once been a caravan are wrapped tightly by roots. Whenever a root or grotesque effigy is killed, place a random loot token on a space it occupied. Merkhound Nest. The corpse collector spawns Merkhounds in this encounter. Aftermath of a beating. Only set up the objective tokens in this encounter if the adventurers have the story flag Grievous Wounds. Do we have the story flag
Ooh.
Grievous Wounds?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we just got that.
General Grievous Wounds.
Okay,
General Kenobi.
what what does the text for all the objectives say?
Blue objective, an adjacent adventurer may make an encounter action to read the text. Red objective,
It
an
says the same
adjacent
thing for all of
adventurer
them.
may make an encounter action to read the following hidden text. Green objective,
thing.
an adjacent
Oh,
adventurer may make an
same.
encounter
Same.
action to read the following hidden text. Yellow
Same thing.
objective, an adjacent adventurer may make an encounter action to read the following hidden text.
Same thing again. Okay, an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit, then you get the reward. If the party marks the story flag, ooh, there's a thing with a special thing.
Well, don't worry about that. That's only if we win, Anne. So who are we all playing as today?
Muck everywhere, elevated terrain.
I'm playing. What?
Shouting was saying muck everywhere.
Yeah, this is gonna suck a lot.
I'm assuming I'm playing as Zeke.
Yep, you're playing as Zeke. Do you want Ezra on you? You can throw him.
Sure.
I assume that's how it works. You just throw
We
Ezra.
don't throw people.
Josh, can you point out what's on the board?
Okay, so we are starting here, behind Matt's head. The blue objective is right next to us, right here.
Okay.
If you go on this map, we have a muckhound and a root. And then we have this kind of like ramp thing going on here across all these, so it kind of goes up. There's an objective on this ramp. There's a loot in the back of the ramp. We have this corpse collector here. We'll go over that in a minute. There's another objective behind that. The corpse collector has these tentacle tokens all on the board, which are going to kind of grab us and pull us towards the corpse collector. Which isn't fun.
Can we beat up the tentacles?
You can't beat them up necessarily, but you can kind of pull them off of you. When we go over the
like
AI.
The band?
What?
Is it Roots like the band?
Yeah.
The Roots?
Yeah. And then we have another tree over here. Matt's favorite.
I like the trees.
Tree City?
And
No?
and just some other roots here. There's a lot of muck on the
Very
board.
descriptive. All right, who's going first?
All right. You got this shuffled up. Who do you think's going to go first?
Rook. Take
Merkhounds.
Anna, Rook.
Who's going second?
Rook.
Corpse Collector.
Oh, good.
Who's
Is
going
that a fried
third?
egg on the top of its initiative card?
It's a mushroom.
Not a badger.
It's actually, I think it's supposed to be a flower.
It looks like a fried egg.
Next up is the tree. So you know all the bad guys are going to go first.
Did you not shuffle the deck?
I did. Then Zeke's going to go.
Yay.
Then Rook.
Rook.
Then Nightingale.
Yay, Anne's last.
And that means Anna's last. All right. So first up,
Mr.
Merkhound.
Merkhound. Let's get murky. So first up, can it move and attack multiple opponents? What's the Merkhound's movement, Josh?
They have 6 movement plus 2 if they start in the water or muck.
Typey, typey, type. Type, type, type.
Sorry.
Just real quick, the Merkhound is not affected by water or muck terrain and will never voluntarily leave it. So none of them can get to us. None of us can get to us because none of us are next to a muck terrain.
Okay. So no, then can it move and attack multiple, and move and attack an opponent adjacent to another Merkhound? No. Can it move and attack an opponent? No. So they won't move?
No,
If they don't...
because they have to stay in muck. And I think we're this all around us. There's no muck. There's no muck terrain touching us.
Okay, I'll take it.
So we are
So
okay
next
at the
up
moment.
is Corpse Collector.
The Corpse Collector, which is an interesting character.
So is this a new one, right?
This is a new one for us.
All right, so it's got Filter Feeder. The Corpse Collector has hulking and can only be targeted by adjacent opponents. Ooh. At the start of the Corpse Collector's turn, all opponents in the same body of water or muck as the Corpse Collector are pulled 4, with the target remaining in water or muck for the entire movement, force 15. Tentacles. A tentacle token can share the same space as other figures, is not affected by currents, and doesn't block line of sight. If an opponent starts their turn on the same space as a tentacle, they put the token on their card. Figures may be affected by multiple tentacle tokens. Figures with tentacle tokens or adjacent allies may spend 1 SP to make a Strength 10 check to remove a tentacle token. If removed, place it in an unoccupied space adjacent to the Corpse Collector and near opponents. Are there any tentacle tokens on the board? All tentacle tokens move up to 2 spaces towards the nearest opponent. Continue down. Are there any opponents adjacent? Cast a spell 6 against all adjacent opponents. Deal 18 magic damage.
Yep.
Okay. Otherwise, spawn the combatant listed on the special encounter roll, so it's going to spawn Mercounts.
Yep. But they're all on the board. So.
But what does it do if you have a tentacle token on you?
So tentacle tokens drag you towards it.
Okay.
So once I'll flip the token over, it says it's a status effect. You move 2 spaces closer to the Corpse Collector every turn.
Okay.
So I moved all the tentacles closer. There's one right next to you, Zeke.
Okay. Now Mr. Tree goes.
Yep. Grotesque effigy.
Mr. Tree. The grotesque effigy and its roots have resistance damage unless the source of the damage is an axe. Roots are figures with 6 HP, 10 defense, and 6 armor. Roots have immunity spells effects. The opponents who provoke a break attack or adjacent to a root at the start of the grotesque effigy's turn are dealt a green die of physical damage. Regrowth. The effigy has immunity, condemned, darkness, paralyzed, poison. Whenever the effigy is dealt damage, add a heal token to a maximum of 4. Is there an opponent adjacent to a root?
No.
Is there an opponent within range 6 of itself or a root?
Rook is within range 6 of a root.
All right.
And you are as well.
All opponents within range 6 of itself or a root are pulled 6 to itself or a root, whichever is nearer to the target. Force 13. So Josh, what do we have to roll for that? And also, can you send me a link to Mr. Rolly Roll? Oh yay, getting grabbed by tentacles. This always ends well in anime, right?
I can send you the link, Matt.
It depends on your, interpretation of good. Some people like the tentacle thing. Right, Anne?
No. And if I could take back sending you the link to the dice just to annoy you, I would.
What do we roll, Josh?
Your conviction.
I have just 2 purples, right?
I believe so.
You didn't send me a picture of my gear, so.
I'll work on that then. I thought you had a picture already from it before.
No, I didn't use Zeke last time. I rolled a 7. So I failed. So we're both pulled 6 closer to Mr. Root.
So how did the tentacles get picked up if we go over them, or?
Excuse me?
When do we get the tentacle tokens on us if we go over their spot, or? If any opponent starts their turn on the same space as a tentacle token, they put it on.
Cool.
So you're going to get tentacle token.
On top of tentacle token.
That was 6 spaces closer.
But isn't 1 space further back still adjacent?
That's only 5 spaces, though.
Doesn't say. It says up to 6 spaces, right? It doesn't say 6 spaces.
Sure.
Or am I wrong?
I'll put you there.
Yeah.
Okay. What else happens?
I don't know. Is there an opponent adjacent? Make a separate attack against each opponent adjacent. When determining damage, roll the black. So nothing happens because there's no one adjacent to the tree. Oh, then swap places with the root out of range and sphere of influence of the most opponents.
But that's only if there's an opponent adjacent.
Okay, so there's no opponent adjacent, so that's it. Okay, so that's the end of Mr. Tree's turn.
Yep.
My turn. So I'm going to activate my haste core off the bat.
Okay.
So I'll have 3 SP. I'm going to attack the root next to me. And I am flanking because you're there, Josh.
Yep.
So the root has how much defense again? 6 or 10? 10 defense, 6 health, 6 armor. So I rolled a 13, so that's beating it by 3. Because I'm beating it by more than 2, I gain an additional 2. So that's 5. Plus I'm flanking, so I get plus 3 for flanking, Josh?
Plus 5 damage. You get plus 2 to your roll. No, plus 3 to your...
Plus 2 to my roll, okay.
Plus 2 to your roll.
Plus 3?
Plus 2, plus 5.
Josh, you're saying like so many different
Plus
numbers.
2 to your roll, plus 5 damage.
Okay. So that is 7 plus an additional 5. So yeah, the root's dead because I ignore armor.
Okay. And then a loot token's going to go there.
Take a loot. In a boot.
I don't think it is in a boot.
So now that was one of my tap actions. So I still have 3 SP. I'm gonna check the loot.
Okay. And we got the green loot.
You're gonna have to read that, buddy.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Where did I put the little decoder thing?
I don't know.
There it is.
Super secret decoder ring.
In the dirt of the root, you find some loot. The party gains 50 gold. However, it looks like something other than this loot was set free. Spawn 2 Blighted Guardians adjacent to the space this token occupied.
So you can technically spawn the Blighted Guardian on top of the root, right? On top of the tentacle?
Yes. It wouldn't go on them. It
Because
only
then
goes on our... It's only an opponent. So...
You can still spawn the Blighted Guardian on top of the tentacle.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so
the tentacle wouldn't go on it, though.
I want that so I can attack it.
I know.
So then why give me a hard time about it?
Was it one or pair?
You said 2.
Yeah, 2 blooded. Okay. Just double checking.
Don't lie to me, Josh. My heart can't take it.
Lie to me.
Swear to me.
I guess I'll put the other one next to me.
Sure. Okay, so now I'm going to tap my other free attack action, and I'll attack the Blighted Guardian. So, Josh, can you remind me of their stats really quickly?
Blighted Guardians have 20 health, 13 defense, and 4 movement. And they have...
Any armor?
No armor, but they have Miasma, which is anytime the Blighted Guardian is dealt damage, inflict disease on all adjacent opponents.
Yep. Sucks, but whatevs. All right, so how much defense did you say they had?
13.
Okay, I rolled a 14, so I'm plus 2.
Yep.
So I'm beating it by 3, so I get another plus 2, so that's 5. Plus 5, so that's 10. I rolled a star, so that is plus 1 SP. And 1 shield does nothing, right? Oh, you sent me some stuff.
I sent you some stuff. I haven't sent you everything yet. For your weapons, each shield does a plus 1 damage.
Oh, each shield, so that's plus 1 damage to it. So I honestly, I lost count. All right, hold on. So I did 14 plus 2, so that's 16. He's got 12 defense, you said?
13 defense.
So I'm beating it by 3, plus 2, so that's 5, plus 5 from my flanking, my backstab, so that's 10 damage, plus 1 from the shield, so I'm going to do 11 damage to him.
Okay. Then you need to do a Force 13 check, and I need to do one as well.
I rolled 10, so I failed. So
I
I'm
rolled a
diseased,
7.
and
We're both diseased.
Disease means you can't have positive status effects or remove health tokens, right?
Yep, so you lose your haste.
Oh, shit, really?
Yep.
That's butt. Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 SP to attack again. And I rolled a 14, plus 2 is 16. So same thing as last time, I'm going to be doing 12 damage to him. So he's dead.
Which will kill him, yes.
Give me that loot.
You got 9 gold.
Yay! And then I'll end my turn there.
Okay. Next up is Rook.
Rook.
Rook's gonna attack this Blighted Guardian, I guess, because he's next to me. I rolled 2 teal dice. It's a good roll. I rolled a 14. It gives a defense of 13. So I'm beating it by 1. I have 1 set of shields, so that's an extra 2 damage. That's 3 damage. Start is another 1 damage. That's 4. That's it. I do 4 damage. Wait, I had 3 SP?
I mean, we all start with 3 SP,
Yep.
right?
I would just start with Magebreaker.
Do I have any Balm on me?
I'll check in a second. I'm gonna do I'll do Magebreaker on this guy. So I'm gonna add his casting die, which is a green die. So another 6 damage, so that's 9 damage. To the Blighted Guardian.
Almost half.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And that's all my SP. I can cast Courage on someone. I'll cast Courage on I'll cast Courage and Barrier on Remi.
Cool.
And that's the end of my turn.
Sure. Remi gets the fun stuff.
I can't give it to you, Matt.
Why,
Time you've
first
ever
of all,
said
did
that.
you get so fight? Now I'm done with this whole conversation.
You only have a juice box, Matt.
Is that because I'm a juice box hero?
Yep.
Okay. So whose turn is it now?
Up
Nightingale's
next
right?
is Nightingale.
Okay. So, can you move the board down because I can't really see because flat mat's in the way. Okay. So they can see the Merchound, right?
Yep,
So they can pew pew the Merchound.
they could. Just know the Corpse Collector is just going to respawn them. But we technically
he's
still
gonna
get loot.
Spawn them anyways, right?
If they're on the board, they can't spawn. Like, you can't spawn more. There's only 3 of them.
Oh, okay. So maybe they want to go after the Blighted Guardian. So that way we can get rid of that stupid thing because he sucks and I hate him.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Matt. Okay.
Let's all make sure we make our game choices based on Matthew's desires.
That's how I make all of my choices.
Yep.
All right, Matt, that should have been everything.
I mean, that's what you think. That's just everything. So Josh, how much would they have to move to go into the way of the Blighted Guardian so they can pew pew?
They can go 1, 2, 3 spaces. So they use their free move and kind of go up on the ramp and pew pew them.
So they could have the high ground?
Yeah.
And why do you look so disappointed?
Because I'm
So
still
Josh-
multitasking and working, and the thing that I have going on at work is making me sad.
So, Josh, why don't you use their free movement to put them into the pew pew range, and then we can start blasting.
Okay. They're gonna assume they're gonna use their doom break. Doom break.
Their boom drake.
And
I'd also like to let you know that I'm not the only person on my team working right now, because I just got an email from somebody else. Why do Americans work so much? Yeah, math does make me sad, but this is just people.
If it makes you
doing
feel better, I
jobs.
have one of my coworkers messaging me too.
Thank you. It does make me feel a little
doom
better.
break. We're good.
I'm ignoring it actively, but you know.
I don't recall if we ever rolled the black die to add the Bloody Guardian to the thing.
Yeah, we did. It was all books.
It was all books.
Oh, no, all shields? I don't know.
If it was
Why
all,
are you asking me?
I'll put the. I'll if there was all of that, I'll do that then. Okay.
What are you doing?
All right. So they did doom break. It didn't break. So now they pew pew. They have a green cast in, and the conviction is a teal and an orange.
That's a good conviction.
Like a good pew pew conviction, because it's that good. It's good for Twitch.
That's kind of what I meant.
They rolled an 8 versus an 8.
Oh, yeah, they win.
Yeah, they win. So they're going to take a damage.
And you want to read that comment?
It didn't break. I guess it was just a doom bend.
And they do 5
You get it,
damage. So that we're at 14 damage on it. So it needs 3 more damage. Or not, it needs 6 more damage. So do you guys want to use your their staff to try to do a green die and see if they can kill it in 1 hit instead of 2 gore shots?
Why not? Worst case scenario, they'll just do a gore shot to follow it up,
Yeah.
I guess. Plus, they have their dress to reroll it, right?
And they also have their new companion.
Yeah.
That +2 to a roll.
If they need it. Staff blast. It's a
Rolled
new
an
infection
8.
that's going around the hospitals. Staff blast.
And versus a 9. So yeah. Nope, they win. So they're
Good to go.
gonna roll a green die of damage.
I rolled. I think it's going to be a good roll, too. Heart of the cards.
8.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
So it's
rolling,
dead.
rolling.
He did.
He did. He blew up. Alright, so we get another loot.
Take a loot and a boot.
We got 7 gold.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Josh, do they have any magic bomb on them?
Twitch?
Are you going to steal it?
I don't think so.
I mean, I would ask politely.
They do have a magic bomb on them.
Hey, Twitch, do you guys want to smother me in balm?
Just say no. It's dark.
I think it's a nice thing to do.
I think that's fine.
I'm sure. Did
Thanks,
you just
Josh.
say you think it's fine?
I think Matt's fine. I don't think he needs it.
I mean, I know I'm fine.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Chat, do we want to use it or save it? Would that make us embalmers? Yes. Or would it be Matt Balmers? I don't know.
No.
Okay. Chat still has like 3 SP left.
Oh,
So good.
it can't move again though. Right?
Yeah, they could hit the Great Mercount.
Yeah, because they're gonna get 4 SP next turn anyways, right?
Yep.
So
I
basically,
mean, we
they have
can
2 free
basically
SP
just
to
take
spend.
loot. We just can grind these guys for loot.
That's true. I'm okay with this. How much health do they
It
have?
took me a while to finally understand what you were saying.
What did you say, Matt? How much health did the
How much
Mercounts have? 12.
12. So they can't do it in these 2 hits though. That's the only problem.
They have 3 hits.
Well, that's if they use all of their SP.
Yeah. Well, they also have the Doombreak too, so they get up the max SP every turn.
Ooh,
Oh,
but
I forget that
you
they
can't
have-
just say Doombreak like that and not put the emphasis in the light into Doombreak.
So they rolled a 10
So irresponsible.
versus a 12. So they can exhaust Brea to give them the check.
I
Do it.
double checked my phone. I'm not on mute, which means you're just ignoring my very important commentary.
So they're going to do 5 damage to Grape.
Okay, beating up on Grape.
Yep. So Grape is going to take 5 damage, so they're going to be at 7. They're going to use their Blood Ring to heal up from all their pew-pews. And they're going to shoot again.
You know what's missing from this functionality here?
What?
Is I can't mute the organizer.
Is that what the ding was? I'm looking at my phone. What was the ding?
So we're rolling again, Josh?
Yep. They rolled a 6, so it's a 12. And they rolled a 5
Against.
and a 5, so 10. That's another 5 damage.
That's another pew.
Another pew. So they got 1 pew left.
Let's pew.
They're down 1 health. They can't heal it, but that's fine.
Let's go sit down in church, because it's time to pew.
But this last pew doesn't need to take a damage to kill it.
Right. And you didn't laugh at my joke.
Oh, they rolled a 9. That's definitely
I got it.
a pew pew. So it's dead.
Yeah. Do we get a loot from it?
Oh, shit.
There, it's a group, isn't it?
No, they're submerged. They can only be attacked when adjacent.
Joshua?
I forgot about that.
Okay, so they still have 3 SP.
Yeah, they still have 3 SP. They can't do anything. It's still at full health.
That's the end of their turn.
Yep,
Cool.
that's the
That was a
end of
nice
the turn.
practice in rolling dice.
Yep. Yep, that's practice rolling dice. My fault. Not bad. Okay.
Watch those be the dice rolls that we're really, really going to need.
All right.
Probably.
Remi, it's your turn.
Why are you yelling at me?
Not yelling.
Remi, it's your turn. Remi. Take your turn. Why is your face so big?
Really close to the camera.
She can't see.
So, do I want that objective card token is still there?
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah,
want
totally
that.
go for it. Go get it. Have fun. You can just go on the tentacle.
I have no idea whether I should actually believe you. Like, you have that tone where it's like, I'm going to egg you on, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm egging you on kind of thing going on. I'm not sure if I want to do it. What color is it? It doesn't matter. I can't read the book anyway. They're with the photo ring.
It's green.
I feel like you're making that up.
Is it green? I have no idea what color it is.
I can't
How
tell.
many health points do tentacles have?
Tentacles don't have health.
You can't attack the tentacles. Otherwise, I would have killed it.
Well, I thought you could, and then it goes away.
No.
You thought wrong. You can
It's the
attack the
roots.
roots. The only thing you can do with the tentacles is avoid their grasp, their noodly appendage grasp.
What's their reach?
If they start
2.
under you on your turn, they go on you.
Okay. Do they move?
They move 2 spaces.
Oh, so their reach is 2. That's cool. Look at that nasty face on your face. I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you so you can see how nasty your face is. Your nasty faces.
You sound like Trump, man.
Adjacent, a diagonal is still adjacent?
Yep.
And it can only move orthogonally, correct?
Correct.
So can you move me 1, 2, 3 to my right and 1 up?
Here?
Nope.
There's lag. I can't see where you said here. Yes, there.
How bad
And that
is your
puts
leg?
me-
Jeez.
Real bad. And that puts me in position of activating that objective.
It does.
And it puts me out of reach of the orange Merchound.
It does.
Do you have any other
Because I
questions,
have
Ann?
haste.
What?
Not yet. So I have haste. I used 1, so now I have 3 SP left. 1, 2. It also means that that Merchound is out of reach of me.
You can only attack him if you're adjacent.
I can only attack him if he's in muck.
Yes, he's in muck. He lives in the muck.
He was born
And
with a
flag
rock.
is- Okay, so activate the objective.
All
Let's
right.
see what happens.
This is the
You
blue
have made a
objective.
mistake.
Probably.
What did I do with the secret decoder ring?
Okay, great.
Oh, I put it in Zeke's bag for some reason.
Yes, put it in my bag.
All right, blue objective.
I thought. Wait, Matt said it was green.
No, it's the blue one.
Which one of you can't tell colors?
You find a bloody piece of
specifically said
Echo's
afterwards, but I didn't see which one it was.
clothing. Place this token on your adventure card. If you are defeated, remove this token from your adventure card and place it in the space you occupied. At the end of the encounter, keep this token on your card. So you found some bloody clothing,
Okay.
and you're carrying it around now.
This is cool. All right, I can't move anywhere. I can't do anything else. So I guess that is it for me.
All right. So it's time for the Mercounts to go. Can it move? Attack multiple
And attack multiple opponents?
No.
Can it move and attack an opponent adjacent to another Merchound?
Red can't get to you at all, so no. But purple can. So purple can get to both of us. So purple's gonna come here. Move to me as many opponents as possible, then make a separate attack against each opponent. So he's gonna attack you first.
I'm going to dodge. Hoop, I lost the link.
The dice link?
Yeah, no, I have it now. I just exited out by accident.
Oh.
I rolled 2 shields.
All right, it rolled a 14. What's your defense?
Okay. I have no idea.
9 plus whatever your core was, which is a 2 or 3.
Hold on. Hold your horses here. So I get plus defense for what? Thank you for sending me a sideways picture. +2 from my 1 core.
Okay, so that puts you at 11.
+2 shields.
But you at 13, so it beats you by 1.
But I get +2 armor. No, I get that's plus armor. Never mind.
Uh,
So it's beating me by 1.
do you get anything for if you're flanking it?
I get plus armor.
Okay. It has armor piercing, so that doesn't really help you much.
How much armor piercing does it have?
4 armor piercing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's +1 defense for.
All right, so it meets you. So it's gonna do 3 damage to you.
How much armor piercing does it have?
4.
Okay. I'm gonna use my too many belts activates. So the first time attack damages me with physical attack, reduce it by 2.
Okay.
And then the morbid leather is reduced physical damage dealt to you by 2.
Okay, so it does nothing.
Correct.
All right, and then it's gonna attack me. It rolled a 12. I have a defense of 12. So that's just enough to hit. It does, as 4 armor piercing, it's going to do 2 damage to me. I have 1, 2, 3,
6 armor.
6 armor, so it doesn't do anything to me. So I'm going to counter it.
Counter. Didn't see that one coming.
Not from a mile away.
Side note, has anyone ever had these little Bel Gioioso snacking Parmesan cheeses? They are delicious, and I recommend them.
I rolled a 9, so I did not hit.
What? Zeke's dagger does 2 magic damage to the Merc Hound.
Oh, yeah, it does. Thank you.
That was definitely Shabner, not me.
All right, and then that's the end of Purple's turn. And they have 8 movement while in the muck. So the orange one is going to come attack you too, Matt.
Okay. I'm going to dodge again.
Okay. So 2 red dice. Something to make note of. The first one technically didn't hit you because you are in hindrance terrain. So it gives it -1 to its roll.
Okay.
So it wouldn't have hit. So if you have I think your abilities are once per round or whatever.
It is. Yeah, so that 1 damage reduction is once per round. So this one gave me 4 shields.
All right. And it rolled a 9. Plus a 9. Oh, 18, Matt.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So I have 11. I have 11 plus 4. So that's 15.
15.
It's really nasty.
So it's going to do 3 damage plus symbols.
3 damage plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 damage.
I reduced by 4.
So 3 damage.
I'll take that. That's not that bad.
And you're not flanking this
Could have
one.
been worse.
So
I'm not flanking it?
No, this one you're not flanking.
Okay. Plus 2 per Merc Hound and Sphere of Influence.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. So it's going to do another 2 damage.
Okay, hold on. I'm going
8
to
damage.
change that up a little bit then. Give me 1 second here.
Actually, just plus another 2 damage. Because I don't think that other Merc Count's in. Because the ramp's in the way of the site. Because there's an elevation change. So it's just plus 2.
Okay. Oh, there's nothing that I can do.
All right.
I thought I had something else.
So what's your max health? 20.
Excuse me?
What's your max health?
What's my base health?
Yeah. Does it matter for SOI? Yes. SOI, you at least need to have line of sight Other opponents don't bother your line of sight for that though. But you do if there's you can't like use it through walls. What was it, Matt?
What's my base health?
Your base health is 12.
Okay, so 23.
23. And then you just took
Hold on, I'm just double checking to make sure that that's correct.
5 damage.
23. Yeah, so 18.
So you're down to 18. Okay. I'm gonna put that right there. Okay. All right, that's the end of the Mercount's turn. It is now the Corpse Collector's turn.
Okay.
All right. Are there any tentacles tokens on the board? Yes. All tentacle tokens move up to 2 spaces towards the nearest opponent.
Continue down.
So there's a tentacle
Are there
under
any
you,
opponents
Matt.
adjacent? There's now a tentacle under me?
Yep.
Okay. And it's going to pull me 4 spaces?
Just wait. Are there any... It's not going to do anything yet.
Just wait. Just hold on. Slow your roll, Matthew.
Are there any opponents adjacent? No. Otherwise, spawn the... They're already on the board. So it doesn't do anything right now. It's at the start of the Corpse Collector's turn. All opponents in the same body of water. So no one's in the muck by it yet. Get pulled.
So what? So I don't understand what the tentacle is going to do then. It's just going to sit
At the
there?
beginning of your turn, the tentacle is going to go on your card, and then it has a status effect of pull 2 towards him.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to take like a turn to do it.
Okay. So is it
Matthew, are you
turn now?
old
It's a
enough
tree's
to know
turn.
who Tom Green is?
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
All right, so it's tree's turn. Is there an opponent adjacent to a root? No. Is your opponent within range 6 of itself or a root? Yes.
Not
And is.
Oh. Haha. I mean, oh.
You told me too.
That was a
that was tentacle, not a
You don't
root.
listen.
It's the tree now. I need you to do a conviction check. Force 13, man.
He called you a
Can we
man.
go back to where you said Matt? My conviction sucks. What if can I just say no?
Nope.
11
Sucks.
plus 12, 13, 14. Wait, that's not true. I think I passed it. Because I'm in
Sucks.
books for my conviction roll. Yes.
Passed it? Okay. That's it. Tree's done. Up next is Zeke. So Zeke,
Okay.
you start on this tentacle. It becomes a status on you. So
You're
it
a
is status. Move 2 spaces towards the nearest Corpse Collector. So at the beginning of the turn, it gets on you, and then I think it triggers right away. That's going to be my assumption.
Okay.
So you move 2 spaces closer. So you're on another tentacle, but it doesn't go on you. But you're slightly closer to it.
And now I won't trigger a break attack if I start moving.
Technically, I guess it should have. Yeah, you should have triggered. Now here's a mix-up here. So the Merchounds have sticky. So when an opponent adjacent to the Merchounds makes them, they want to make them move action. But you would still do break attack against both of them. So are you dodging them at all?
Yes. Am I rolling for just one of them right now?
Yeah. You rolled a skull. You get a reroll.
Yeah, I'm going to reroll that. 2 books, 2 shields.
All right. You rolled a
Stop rolling
9
nines.
and an 8. So 17. It's beating you by how much?
Technically, I was flanking it, right?
Yeah, this is grape first, so yes, you're flanking it.
So I get +1 defense. So I have 10 defense +2, so that's 12 plus another 2, so that's 14.
Okay, so 14. And it rolled a 17, so it's beating you by 3 plus 4 books. So that's 7. Plus another
Reduced by
2 is 9, so it's going to do 5 damage to you.
That's after the reduction of 4?
Yep.
Cool.
And the other one's going to go. This is the one you're not flanking.
I do 2 damage
yep,
back
you do.
because of my books.
Yep, he's down to 8 health right now. Because you booked him.
Book him, Dano.
You booked
Is there
him?
any adjacent terrain to the big scary monster?
The corpse collector? No.
Yeah. So I can't flank him?
No, you cannot flank him, but you can stand. There is like one space you can stand on that is not muck. But it's like
I don't want to attack him. I can't flank him.
they rolled a 6 this time, but you do 3 damage back to it.
Yep.
Or yeah, 3 damage.
Okay. So, what am I doing right now?
I don't know.
Can you clear the dice, please?
Your whole life or just in this game?
Yes. All of the above. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take a move.
You're gonna take a mua?
A mua.
Mooey mooey?
Mua mua. Okay, so I'm gonna run back down and start beating up those merc hounds.
Oh, you want to hit those mark hounds? Okay.
Yeah. So that way they unstick themselves from you. So I'm gonna attack Grape first,
Okay.
because that's the low-hanging fruit. So where was I at? I had 1 SP from last turn, so I gained 3, so I'm at 4. I used 1 to move, so I'm at 3 SP. I'm going to use my first of my 2 free attacks, and I rolled diarrhea, so I rolled a 9.
9.
What's their defense?
13.
Okay, so the 9 would miss. So what I'm going to... do I want to do that? I don't think I want to use that on that. Hold on one second. I'm just looking at my items. Okay, that attack just misses.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 9 plus 2. Yeah, that's not enough.
Yeah, they have a
Okay,
defense of
so then
13.
I'm going to roll again. So this is my second free attack. I rolled a 12. 12 plus 2 is 14.
Beaten by 1.
Plus, beaten by 1, so then plus 5.
Okay.
How much health does it have?
It's 8 health left. You're doing 6 damage. Your shield gives plus 1.
Oh, God, really? I will spend 1 SP to do 2 damage to it.
Okay. So Grape is dead.
Okay. How much health does Orange have?
Orange only has 9 health. A little bit more, but... And it had 10 gold.
I'm gonna... Cool. I'm gonna spend my last 2 SP to attack.
Okay.
I rolled diarrhea, so that's 9.
Alright, you're not flanking this one, so no bonuses.
Nothing. Okay.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Alright. Up next is Rook.
Check that red objective.
Yeah, I'm going to check the right again. First, I'm going to give Courage and Barrier to Nightingale.
Nightingale.
And then I'm going to check this objective. which is the red one. And for red loot, we get not red loot, red
Red
objective.
loot or red objective?
Objective. You find a splattern of blood and dirt and pull a tooth from the muck. It looks like Echo's. I don't know how I know what Echo's teeth looks like, but I'm a master dentist and I know dental records. Probably.
Good job.
It looks like Echo's, probably. Place this token on your adventure card. If you are defeated, remove this token. Yada yada. It's just like the other one. But we found a tooth.
Rook is the bookworm. So if anybody knows dental records, it was probably him. Why is this coming through this app? Oh my god, stop.
Okay. I have 2 SP left. What am I going to do?
Something really awesome. We're all counting on you.
Do you want to run? Do you want me to run towards the? I'm gonna go run up this ramp.
It's not through the indent in my fist. Possible.
8.
Alright.
All right, and then I'm gonna check. I'm gonna grab the green objective token. What do you think we found this time?
So we found
Her
clothes.
earrings. She's got earrings in one of the pictures, I think. You're going to find one of her earrings.
You find one of Echo's daggers. It's broken and covered in thick mucus. What's left of the blade
Thick
is
mucus.
wrapped in one of the Soul Stitcher's threads. So I found a broken dagger.
Okay. Thank you for saving me from this mercount.
Oh, you got it.
After the
Are you
tentacle pulls
crying?
me away, and then it F's me up.
You'll be fine.
Josh is the worst tank ever.
Yep.
No, that's a lie. Anne's the worst tank ever.
What? What?
I don't want to get 2 damage. I'm the tank.
Yeah, I
So
can't.
it's Nightingale's turn. What do you guys want to do?
They want to shoot the Merchound and save me.
They have to get into Merchound's face, which they can get there.
Guys, do you want to save your best friend, Matt?
Nope.
I think you do.
Only issue is they're gonna be in muck to do it, so it's gonna cost them 2 SP for each gore shot.
I don't know, Matthew.
They only need to hit it twice.
You sound pretty expensive.
But worth it.
Yeah.
See, look, Josh is already moving him to do it. Thank you, Josh.
I was fixing the board.
appreciate it. Thanks, Josh.
How did you? Maybe he didn't shrink. I feel like he shrunk you. Did you get shrunk?
I moved back a little bit, leaning back in the seat.
All right, so they're gonna do a green versus the Merchound's teal dice.
I rolled. Did you roll?
Did who roll?
I rolled a 4.
Is it really rolling? Is it a 4?
It's against a 10, so it matches. So they're gonna do 5 damage
How
to
do
it.
I smell? Get out of chat, Matthew.
I highlighted the message too with my purple salt.
So they're gonna take a damage, but they're gonna use their blood ring to heal, so they're back at 13.
Okay.
It's got 4 health left, so I guess Spirit.
Why not pew pew?
Then they won't have to spend the health.
What's the lowest roll on the spear?
I think it's a 4.
Oh, then that makes sense. Spear Spool. Spear Spool.
They rolled a 9.
They rolled a. Oh my god.
But they rolled a 7 and a 8, so that's 15 versus a 15.
Against the 15. They're fine.
They're fine. So
They're
they need to
fine.
roll a green die to see how much damage they do.
And you know what the answer is going to be? Enough. And say the Mortal Kombat thing. Get over here! No, it's supposed
They
to
did 8
finish.
damage.
They're not pulling him closer.
So it's dead.
I like that Josh is in his own world and just ignores when we're talking.
He's so rude.
I mean,
He's so rude.
tell me something I don't know.
And we got 12 gold.
That
And
was
he
a
just
rich
keeps on. I told you, every once in a while, I gotta check my phone just to make sure I'm not still on mute.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all, goes along with his, it'll be fine, live in my own world bubble.
Who next?
So that was... They're down to 1
Who?
SP.
Next.
But
Can't
this,
do anything, can they?
they can Doom
They
Break
can
to
still
get
shoot the
another...
other merc down.
They can Doom Break to get another SP. The other Mercount is behind the ramp, so they don't have line of sight
Okay.
to it. So that's
So
the end of
then
there.
why would they Doom Break to get another SP?
They shouldn't. That was a...
So then why would you suggest it?
I didn't. You did.
But you did. You said, but they can Doom Break.
I just said they could Doom Break.
But what's the point? So then, yeah, why bring it up?
Because I
It
hate
doesn't
you.
Make any
I
sense
hate
to do
you.
it.
Okay.
That's
And it's your
really
turn.
aggressive and rude. Do you want to talk about your feelings, Joshua?
I have feelings.
He does pay attention. Okay. I have 5 SP. I am nowhere near any of the action. So that's cool. But I got some clothes.
You can start going up the ramp. Oh, you could beat up this other route, Ann.
Or you can go smack the red Mercount.
Mercount. That's true. We can get the red Mercount off the board.
I can't. So I'm going to fly, right, to get rid of the muffin stuff, to get through the muffin stuff.
Yeah.
And because I already have
HR
5 SP, so
stuff.
it does make sense. It's 7 movement still, right?
I mean, you don't need the fly. You can move. The buck isn't 2 spaces to move through. It just sucks when you're in it to activate anything.
Oh.
You
1,
just
2,
don't want
3,
to
4,
end your
5,
turn and move.
6. So if I just move, what did I have that gave me an extra movement, which I don't think I have anymore?
Diarrhea.
You gotta go. I don't think I have anymore. So if I moved 6 spaces, if I moved 1 to the right and 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would put me within reach theoretically of the Mercount, but would the elevation impede of that ramp?
If you go on this
reach?
space, you can attack them. It's only an
Hold
elevation
on,
difference
Mike's
of
gotta
1.
catch it. I don't know where your pencil pointed.
Right here.
Can I walk straight forward?
Yeah, you can walk straight there. Don't need the fly.
You could also walk 500
Okay.
miles.
But if I was 2 spaces away
You can only attack the.
instead of right,
You can only attack adjacent to the Mercounts.
Because they're submerged.
I get my butt kicked if I do this. Can I dodge if I'm in that space? Can I dodge against the Mercount?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're on the ramp. You're fine.
Okay, fine. So put me there. That'll leave me with 4 SP, so that's good because it means I'll be able to attack twice. But actually, I should have done this before. Whatever, it's fine. Go ahead and
Summon your sword on the other
Flip my-
side of the Mercount.
split my summoning.
Okay.
And then, do I want my sword or do I want the Elephant chick?
Well, if you put it on the other side of the Mercount, it's going to start adjacent to the Corpse Collector, and the Corpse Collector is just going to do 18 damage to it on its turn.
Can I not rotate this stupid thing in here? That's annoying.
Nope. That's why Josh sent
Super
those
annoying.
pictures.
Well, I uploaded it to Google Drive, but I guess I didn't. I don't know. I have to figure out how to do it. Okay. It's going to do 18 damage to it, regardless of what I summon. So, and whatever I summon, won't it go after me though? Because I'm the last person in the initiative, and it'll go right after me.
Yeah, it would go after you, so you have a chance to move it.
So I can do something with it before it dies.
Yeah.
So, Elfie has when an ally within sphere of influence deals final damage greater than 0, they deal additional physical damage equal to the target's armor value. And then once per turn, dodge with +2. She's got stuff like magic armor, soul clear. She's super support.
It's also going to cost you an SP
sword,
to spawn them. So you're only going to get. It also costs you an SP to spawn them, so you're only going to get one attack in.
One attack. I know.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with the question that I was asking. They have Elfie's got less armor, 4 more health. She's got trades health for armor. What's most useful to us as a party in the moment?
Mr. Sword is my favorite.
She removes the
Mr.
negative
Sword is my
effects, so she
friend.
get rid of disease on us, which would be nice.
Oh, yeah. Spawn her.
that was a hard convincing. All right, yeah, let's bring Elfie in. So I will get 2 summon tokens because I flipped my summon ability, and then I'm going to utilize both of those summon tokens because she's a level 2 Esper to summon in Elfie.
Okay.
But I think I only need to use 1 SP to use both of those tokens, right?
I believe so.
I don't know.
It's on your other card, I believe.
The other thing that I printed out. But we're going to say yes because I'm too lazy to look. That works for me. Okay, so now I'm flanking. And I'm going to use 2 SP to try and smack the stupid Merc Hound. So I have to roll 2 teal and a black. And I do nothing.
You have to spend an SP for each of the summon tokens, Anne.
So 5, 4. I flipped. Flipping doesn't cost an SP to do, right?
No.
And then, so I'm down to 2, so it's my 1 attack. So
Yep.
that's fine.
You have a reroll.
My roll was garbage. Right. Ooh.
What?
Let's say I didn't re-roll the black die.
No, that's not how it works.
Yes, it is.
It sucks to be you.
I mean, technically, you shouldn't have because you had courage. There was no reason for you to reroll it.
But I didn't want to re-roll it. It was an accident.
You did it on
I remember what it was. I think it was $4.
It was
Yeah.
$4.
You're pumpkin eater.
I'm emotionally okay with this.
You still only rolled an 11.
Noob.
What did I need? What is the defense?
13. You get +1 for flanking.
Only 1?
Yep. You're not Matt. You don't have backstab.
So I miss anyway?
What? Yep, you miss anyway. And you lose courage.
That's lame. That's lame. That's all I got.
Great turn, Anne.
All right, now it's your summon's turn.
Matt.
What happened, Josh?
So, do I want to move her? If I move her, she'll get an attack of opportunity, right?
Yep, but she's going to die when the corpse collector goes, so your choice.
Can you use her to take a status effect off me? Please and thank you.
Hi, what do you have on you?
I have
What do you have on you?
what is it, disease, Josh?
Yeah.
That's what doesn't allow me to heal or get positive other status effects. So if you remove that, then I can heal a little bit, and then Josh can give me like barrier and courage and shit like that.
Don't think she's in line of sight of you right now, though, because the ramp's in the way.
How tall is this friggin' ram?
Tall
It's
enough.
elevation 1, but you're short. So then I want to move her.
Yep.
She's got dodge.
Yep. But she needs to do a strength check to move away from it.
What's her strength?
It doesn't exist.
How do you do a strength check with an Esper?
I have no idea.
You're so hopeful, Josh.
I'm being honest.
You're such.
If only the
you're
person
such a
with the
pain in
book.
ass. You are so special.
I wish I was special. So
Fuck.
Oh, I want to move her. That was words.
I just dropped like a whole bin of tokens.
why would you do that?
It didn't sound like a very good thing to do. Oh my god.
Have you tried not dropping giant pins of tokens?
Nope.
Might I recommend that?
The rules doesn't say anything about the espers, like for a skill check. Page 66.
Execute Order 66. What?
Huh?
Huh? You turn into Little John?
Okay.
Oh, no, that's the yin yang.
Oh, and you just need to roll a black die, apparently.
I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes,
Oh, so this is
just
like
in case your answer
This is-
changes.
No, it's a black
this
die.
is the if you roll a skull, then it fails. Otherwise, it passes.
Yep.
That bodes well. Except Dan's gonna roll a skull here.
Shut up, Matthew. Okay, then I want her to move
To line of
One,
sight of
two,
me.
Shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left. So let's roll the black die. I rolled 3 shields and a book,
Okay.
but now it's gonna attack her.
Yep. So she's gonna dodge.
Yes. She misses because I suck.
You still get +2 shields.
Even if it's a skull.
Doesn't say. It just says +2 shields.
That's fine.
They rolled an 8, so you're good.
Her defense is a 10, so it's fine.
Yep.
And then I can't counter.
What? Like, where do you want to go?
But
Like
that's
there?
fine. Yes.
Okay. Just FYI, that movement costs 2 points because you were a muck to start.
So, Matt, I can't help you this turn.
Thanks.
Also, where could I have gone for one movement point? Nowhere, right?
Nowhere.
I had to get out of the muck.
You got to get on the muck.
Exactly.
You sure that's the spot you want to be in?
Is that the best place to be?
The tree's going to grab it and bring it next to it and attack it.
Get the shit
Why?
out of it. Because you're within 6 spaces of the tree.
Okay, so then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So bring
5,
it down
6,
2.
7, 8, 9, 10.
You want to go like here?
If you bring it down 2, then it's. But now I'm adjacent to those tentacle thingies.
Yep. I think you're
So
also...
I didn't want to. I want to move 1. I want. No, not to be so close, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still 5. It's still within the tree there.
Yeah. Technically, Zeke's where the tree is too.
So spend her last 1 movement point and move 2 more down, right? And that should get her out of space of the tree?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Well, she's by this route now.
Joshua!
The route doesn't really matter because if the route will pull you closer to it, but the routes don't really do much of anything.
Famous last words.
I will come and rescue you from that route.
There is no safe places.
Okay, fine.
Okay. It's the end of her turn.
Yes.
All right. It's the Mercount's turn. So the red Mercount's gonna attack you, Anne.
Yes. Execute order, kill Anne.
You have mental problems.
Anne, are you dodging?
Yes.
Well, then roll your dice.
I have to wait. Oh my god! I can't. You're overwhelming.
Oh, too late. Too late. You didn't roll.
That was much better.
Oh, they rolled an 8.
What am I using to roll?
They rolled 8, so they
doesn't
didn't
matter.
do anything.
Good. So
Stop
I used
playing
my
with your
force
bosoms.
shield. So I used my force shield to dodge. I can't even with you.
All right, that's it.
Oh, hey, wait a second. When I dodge and the attack misses, I gain +1 SP because of gauge.
Okay.
Two.
How much SP do I need to counter?
2.
Two.
Don't I have a thing I can use to just counter?
Uh,
Yeah, I've got my
no.
black ticket. What do
Do
you
you
mean?
wanna
No, I
waste it
have
on
my
that?
black ticket. It's the Mercant's
busy
turn
picking
on
his
my
ear.
supple
you can use your black
I
ticket.
supple refresh on my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, I should use that.
Use it then.
Okay, I'm gonna use it then.
That's not what he said.
Oh yeah, that's a good roll right there. There's
7. Okay, so you
I
suck.
need better weapons. Yeah.
We're a couple of counters away from the next shop phase, so you'll be okay there. So now it is Mr. Mushroom's turn.
Corpse Collector's turn.
Yeah, Mr. Mushroom.
Is anyone in muck? I don't... Twitch is in muck. They're going to
Okay.
get pulled 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Towards what?
The Corpse Collector. The muck kind of goes around like a circle.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. It's a big circle.
Okay.
Oh, wait. It's a Force 15 check, so they can see if they can ignore it. They have a conviction of a blue and a purple die.
Blurple. Blurple. Blue and a purple. Do 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 do.
What is this, like a lounge?
They rolled a 12. They have 2 books.
What is this, a lounge?
So 14. So, nope, they're going to get pulled. Then the
They're
tentacles
gonna get pulled.
are going to go.
Tentacles are gonna go.
So there's tentacle under you. There's a tentacle under
them
Anne.
tentacles. Who likes tentacles as much as Josh does?
All right, all
No, I
tentacles
think
went.
so.
Are they any opponents adjacent? No. Otherwise, spawn the combat listed in the special encounter rules. Adjacent to the corpse collector in the space nearest the most opponents. So does it spawn just one or all of them? Just one, right?
Oh yeah, just what does the encounter rule say? It
just
says Merkhound Nest. The corpse collector spawns Merkhounds in this encounter. So yeah, it would just spawn one, I think.
Okay. So Grape shows back up. And then that's it for the corpse collector.
Okay.
Now it's the tree's turn. Is there an opponent adjacent to a root? No. Is there an opponent within range 6 of itself or a root? Yes. So
Pull them.
So technically, Matt, since range is counted diagonally,
Where? I can't see.
you are 6 spaces away from the tree.
Cool. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you noticing that beforehand.
Twitch and the Esper are also within 6 spaces. So I'm having
So
them
what do I
roll.
need to make?
Conviction check. Force 12.
I rolled a 6.
Or Force 13, sorry.
I still rolled a 6.
And you need to roll a black die, please, for your Esper. Twitch is fine.
$4.
So you only get pulled 6 spaces closer to it, so it doesn't bring you next to the tree.
Oh, that's fine.
Only 6 spaces closer. Only.
Does the tree have any impassable terrain around it?
No. There's one impassable terrain on the board, Matt, which is next to the exit.
Okay. Can you clear the dice, please?
Yep.
Thanks.
You're not going to get another.
So
You're not going to get another tentacle
My
on your turn. Center opponent, Jason. Yeah, it is now your turn.
do I still have a tentacle on me?
You still do have a tentacle on you, so you are going to move 2 spaces towards the corpse collector. Anywhere in particular you want to go?
I'm just gonna run back up to the root anyways.
This route here?
So
Okay.
yeah. Can you move me next to the root, but then also up to greater than 6 spaces away from the tree?
What's your movement? Okay, I can move you here. It's going to cost you 2 SP to move because you start in muck.
Okay. And I'm gonna attack. I rolled a 13 against the tree.
Against the root.
Just the root.
I believe that hits. Roots have 6 HP with 10 defense. So yeah.
10 defense.
Yep. So you're beating it by
Okay.
6? No, you
He's dead.
13. Wait, no. Go back. You rolled a 13, so you're beating it by 3.
Yes.
They have 6 armor.
I'm not flanking, right?
You're not flanking, so you need to do 9 damage to it.
Well, shit. So I rolled 1 book plus a star. Stars plus 3.
All right, so that's 6. Well, that's 3 magic damage. because of your one
Oh,
dagger.
so that happens.
That happens anyway.
That happens regardlessly.
Yeah, that you ignore. No armor with that. So you have 3,
Okay.
and then you have a shield, so that's +1. So you're doing 4 damage. You need to do
How much
another
I need to do
5
how much
damage.
more damage?
5.
5 more?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's poopy. All right. I will. I'm going to spend all the rest of my SP to add 6 damage to my attack. So it's dead.
Or you want to just attack it again, or?
No.
Okay. That root's dead.
Oh wait, I get a free attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me.
You have 2 free
Put that
attacks, so.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so I still have 2 SP, so then I'm going to attack again. So how much damage did I wind up doing, Josh?
Just 3. Because of your star.
Oh, okay. Second attack was 7. I probably should have done the damage the first time around. Okay. I'm going to spend my last 2 SP to attack again.
Okay.
9. Why did I let you talk me into that?
I don't know. I thought you would roll better.
You're not allowed to talk anymore.
He doesn't though. He mumbles.
I know. All right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Up next is me.
You're gonna go run around the board like a schmuck.
Yep.
I can
And
grab the loot,
counter.
or I can go hit that Merchound. No, I can't hit that Merchound from where I'm at.
Where are you?
I'm on the ramp.
Go get that loot that's right in front of you.
Yeah, but that's like all I can do if I grab that loot.
Okay, that's all you're gonna do anyways.
Let's
yeah?
grab the loot. The blue loot.
Lulu.
Oh yeah, we got 50 gold. I didn't mark that down. Blue loot. The party gains 20 gold. Make a lore 10 check.
Hey, it's a good thing you have high lore.
Yep. So I'm gonna roll 2 purple dice.
How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel good.
On the inside?
I rolled a 6. My lore's a 5, so that's 11. That passes. If you pass, you find a false bottom to the chest, and the party gains an additional 20 gold. Yeah.
Oh,
Josh wishes he had a false bottom.
Unfortunately, there's also a trap inside the false chest, the false bottom. Shockwave ripples through the air, sending you sprawling. All adjacent figures must make an agility 10 check. If they fail, they are moved 6 spaces away from the space this token occupies.
What's your agility, Josh?
I rolled an
Cuckoo
11,
right?
so my agility's +1, so I'm fine.
That was good.
I would have actually thrown me
Alright.
back next to Remi, and I could have possibly attacked the stupid Merchound. I don't think I can,
That's
though, because
funny.
it's an elevation 3 to 1. I can't attack down 2 elevation levels.
So why would you suggest it?
I was just looking. I hate you.
this is the part of the show where Josh tells us how he would have won if only.
I'll also cast Courage back onto Anne.
Thank you.
And that's all I can do. Yep. That's it.
And Dan?
Then it is Twitch's turn.
And Dan?
And then?
So what can they do?
They can run up to this Merchound and try to blast it?
So that way the Big scary thing can start beating them up.
Possibly.
I think if they're going to go over there, they need to just start attacking the big scary thing.
They need to stand adjacent to it, though.
What? Why would you put Twitch adjacent to it? Twitch is like...
They can only be attacked by something that's adjacent to it. It's like the Merc Hounds.
I hate this bubble.
What would you recommend, Josh?
They can't shoot the tree because the tree's
Magic immune.
magic immune. I mean, they can melee the root with you, maybe.
I mean, that wouldn't be terrible. Would help me out.
They need to spend 2 SP to get over to you. Which is fine. And then they can melee the tree. I think that makes sense, right?
Yes.
And for each 2 books they get, they do 2 magic damage. So, like, if they roll lots of books, then...
Shadow Owner says sure.
Okay. So they spend 2 SP to do that. That's 2 SP to attack. So they roll...
Even with their free movement?
They start in muck, so it's an additional SP, and they had to move 7 spaces.
Oh,
They only have
okay.
6 movement, so...
Okay.
Yes, it is an extra 2.
So what do they roll?
They roll 2 red dice. They
That's
rolled a
pretty good.
15.
Oh, they beat it up.
They rolled 4 books, which is 4 magic damage, so it's dead.
They're pretty strong
Yeah.
and shit.
But that was a 17. They have a defense of 10, so it beat it by 7.
So it still would have killed it.
It had 6 armor, so they would have done 1 day. They did 5 damage to it.
Yeah.
Not
That's
quite
nice.
enough, but yeah, it was good. All right. They still have 1 SP left. Not much they can do with it, though.
Yeah. Can they do their Doom Break, Josh?
They could do the Doom Break.
Freak.
I would say they could even use their Blood Ring, but they've already did damage. They're already at full health, so no use of that.
So they can't do it then.
I mean, they can do them. It doesn't help them at all because they're going to go up to max SPS next turn anyway. Because they have haste.
I know. I'm digging you again.
Yeah. I don't care.
All right, so it's the end of their turn.
Yep.
And it's your turn.
Okay.
Courage means that
I
was a
have
lot
no
of
more-
damage, actually.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of damage because you guys do have courage.
I have no more
I get an
tokens
SP.
to summon.
Nope. You do have your book
That
to
Merc
flip.
Hound. What?
You have your book. Your book of baddies.
Yeah, I do.
And is your
Ew.
healing Esper still on the board, or did it die?
No, it's still on the board.
Is there any way that you can remove my negative status effect from me?
It's not the Esper's turn.
I'm saying when the Esper goes.
You know what? Can I make it through my turn and maybe I'll consider how I if either I like you or not?
Hey, why don't you go F yourself?
Can I have more than one Esper on the board? Yes, as long as they're not the same Esper. Is that
Correct.
no?
That's correct.
Are you sure? I
Yep.
felt like the answer to that was
No, you could have as many Espers on the board as you want.
But I have to be adjacent to the Merchound,
Yep.
and that puts me in risk with the Corpse Collector.
What do you mean?
What happens if I go one space diagonal?
Oh, actually, sorry. You have a tentacle on you. So you're going to move 2 spaces towards the nearest corpse collector. So it's going to get a break attack on you.
The Merc count?
Yep.
Both Merc counts?
Just the red one.
Okay, so then I'm going to dodge. It's terrible.
Guess the logical sense makes it this way. It rolled a 14. What's your defense, Ann?
This is much easier when the overlay is up.
Yep.
10.
10? All right.
11. No, 10.
10. So it rolled a 14.
Yeah.
It's beating you by 4. For each book, it does +1 damage. So it's +3, so that's 7. Plus another 2 damage for the other Merc count, so it's 9 damage. You have anything to reduce it?
I'm going to re-roll my dodge roll.
You don't want 4 books?
Nope. So I'm going to exhaust my morbid leather. I got 4 shields.
So you got 4 shields up, so that puts you at 14 defense.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Because attacker wins on ties.
Yeah, but it's going to do less damage to you now. It's
And
only going to do 5
then,
damage to you.
I have what?
It's going to do 5 damage to you.
So then I have morbid leather, which reduces physical damage being dealt to you from melee attacks by 2.
So 3 damage.
Am I flanking it? No,
No.
right? No.
So 3 damage.
That's all I got.
All right, and your max health is 20?
Oh, 20, correct.
All right, so you're down to 17.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
All right, now it's your turn.
Should I counter it
You can just
2
normal
SP.
attack it.
with my black ticket?
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to counter it with my black ticket.
I guess.
No charges on my heart box.
No, on your
And
here
glow.
box.
On my here box, not my there box.
You're gonna roll like another.
So
what,
I
7?
haven't moved anything, so I still have 5 SP.
Yep.
Because I have 1 additional from haste, and I have 1 additional from my successful dodge from before. Yeah. I was gonna say, could I summon and then counter, but no, right? Like
No.
I have to counter now.
You have to counter now. You could reroll it.
Can
Good roll.
I?
Hey, look, I did say a 7, and you did roll a 7.
I hate you.
She's not in Mach. Jenner. All right, so that's a 12. And they have a defense of 13.
Sucks to be you.
It does suck to be me.
You lose your
It
courage
sucks
again.
to be you.
Okay,
Don't you
so
get
now
plus
I'm going
1 to your rolls with Hammer Helm, or is that
Plus
only
1
for
damage.
plus 1
damage,
Ah.
which is sucky. And I don't think I have anything else that does anything similar to that. Okay, go ahead and summon the sword.
Okay.
So I haven't used any of my SP.
And the sword's
I'm
just
gonna
the
put
summon,
the sword.
right?
What?
The sword just the book just summons it, right?
Correct. Choose a level 1 or 2 Esper, place their figure under your control within sphere of influence, and add their initiative card to the back of the initiative card.
Okay.
So he's going to go on the other side of the red Merhound.
Okay.
This is going to be my first attack. Sucks. Do I lose? Oh, I lose courage too, right?
You already
'Cause I
lost
missed
courage.
My attack?
Yeah, because you missed.
Okay.
So you rolled an 11, plus 1 for the flank, so that's 12. Still not enough.
I need new weapons. Super bad.
All right.
Okay, that's my turn.
Now it is,
Elfie's turn.
Yep.
So she's got 3 SP.
Yep.
Where is she?
She's kind of like in the bayou. Right here.
Was she born on the bayou?
She's within line of sight of Matt.
Yeah, but she's not. With the her SOI is only 4, so she has to get closer to him.
Is that going to put her? Well, it doesn't matter at this point. Go ahead and spend 1 SP to move her over to him.
Okay.
And then go ahead and...
Remove diseased.
What is it? Yeah. Use 2 to do soul clear.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all she can do.
All right.
And then Sulficar. What am I going to do with you, buddy? Let's attack the red Merhound with Onslaught.
Can't do it. You're in muck.
What does that mean?
It costs 1 extra additional SP, so.
Fine, then use Serrated Edge.
Okay. Let's roll teal and orange.
What'd you roll in?
An 11. I can't. I just can't.
Can you literally not even?
I literally can't even.
All right, that's the end of his turn.
Even though he's got flight,
That's the rest of the question.
does he still need to spend an extra point if he's got flight while he's in muck?
Yeah. I think so.
Yes.
I don't know. I think flight makes you.
You're still stuck to the ground.
Did you not hear the word flight, which is like...
You have to take off. And
He's
the
always
whole
flying,
point
though.
is that
He's always flying.
Oh no! It ignores all the effects of the terrain. So you were fine.
good thing you rolled so shitty.
So.
Never mind, doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
But I mean, at least. Good to know.
Okay. Now you know for next time.
9 of next time.
Whose turn is it now?
It is the Mercount's turn. All right. So, can it move and attack multiple targets? Yep. It's right where it is. Then be adjacent to all targets. Let's have it attack your sword first. So dodge for your sword.
Oh, I didn't know I could zoom in the go-to meeting. That's cool. the little scrolly wheel.
So plus
So
6.
it rolled the first time each time Zolfikar is attacked, dodge with +2. So if the attack, so I got 4 shields, +2 is 6, and his defense is 10. So I have 16.
They rolled a 10, so it failed.
So then it says if the attack misses, Zolfikar may immediately end all actions
Yep.
and move up to 3 spaces and make a melee attack.
Yep.
So
You're not going to move, but you're going to melee attack.
You could move if you want, but you can just do a melee attack.
I mean, she's in flanking.
Should
where
I?
it is right now, right?
So I don't.
yes, but the purple Burkhound is going to attack next, and I'm not going to be able to have the same dodge. I won't have the same thing, special ability.
I mean, I think you're better off just using him to attack right now. Well, how much health does the purple one have?
Purple one's at full health, so 12 health. They're both at 12 health.
I was wondering if maybe there was a way for you to beat it up with Mr. Sword.
With the sword, the sword can move to like here and attack the red one, and then the purple one wouldn't be able to attack the sword. Just wouldn't be flanking.
Which means I would just lose, 1 on my roll that I'm not going to get anyway because my rolls suck tonight?
And plus 3 damage if you do hit.
My defense is only 10. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to lose my sword just yet.
All right, so you want to move him?
Yes, I want to move him down 1 and to the left 1.
So where I put him?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
now teal and orange. 10. Great. Cool.
All right. And then the red one's going to attack you.
Why? It ended all the actions.
It's a separate attack. It's not a follow-up.
Lame. I'm using my close to dodge. I hate all my rolls tonight. All
You
of
could
them.
re-roll it.
You're going to get the shit beat out of you with this one.
Jesus Christ!
Books.
I can't re-roll it because I didn't exhaust my morbid leather for that. Did I? Yes, I did. I already exhausted my morbid leather.
Okay. So that rolled a 17 versus what? Your 10? Anne?
When you're attacked by an opponent, you're. I lost my. Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Being needed by 7. Gets +2 for the other Mercon, so that's 9. Plus another 4 for the books. So it's 13 damage. And you ignore 2 damage.
Yes.
So you take 11 damage. You're down to 6 health.
Yep.
All right. And then the other Mercount's going to come and attack you. It's going to roll 2 red dice. Can you dodge anymore or no?
No.
Do you have any SP left or no?
No.
All right, it rolled a 14, so it's being needed by 4. Plus 2. Plus 2 is 8. You're dead?
Yep.
What happens to her espers?
They stay on the board still.
Okay.
All right. It's Mercount's turn. It's Corpse Collector turn. Anyone in muck? Nope, no one's in muck. Tentacles are going to move 2 spaces closer. And then it's going to spawn another Mercount.
Womp, womp.
Okay. Next up is the tree. Any figures within
Mr.
6
Tree.
spaces?
Clear the dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, 6,
I
7.
think technically the sword is within the root there. You guys are out of range there. And roll a black die for the sword.
Skull.
Okay. So the red one's going to get a break attack against it.
Cool.
And did you listen to Andy Looney?
I hate you.
I think you get to dodge
This is
this.
definitely not my deck. First of all, I need better gear. I need much better weapons. My weapons are really underleveled.
And I think you can dodge this. Because I think it's
Why?
each turn, not each round. So this is a new turn.
Isn't that why you just had me roll the black die?
No.
No.
I had you
That
roll the
was
black die
the,
for the tree grabbing you. The root grabbing you.
Okay, so then I have 4 shields.
Okay, so you dodge it, so you can move up to 3 spaces and attack the red thing again. Or you stay where you are, up to you.
Jesus, this is so many Merchounds. Yeah, let's attack it from here.
Okay.
He is orange and blue. 5. So, next.
Okay. Then he pulls you, the branch pulls you 6 spaces away. So now that's where you are now. And that's the end of that turn. Oh, it does break free. That is correct. So you stay where you're at. That is correct. All right. So now it is Zeke's turn.
Cool. I don't know what to do. I guess I'll go run up. How far am I from the Merchounds?
You're pretty far. Well, first you have a thing, so you're gonna get 2 spaces closer to them. Then you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces.
Okay.
From where Anne was standing. And you have 8 movement?
So I don't know.
I believe you do.
I think I do actually. Sorry, I lost my photos. What's my base movement?
6.
Yes, I do have +2 movement from my haste core. So yes, I will spend my SP to move over there.
All right.
All right, so I will spend to attack the red Merchound first.
Okay.
Oh, what the hell? I keep accidentally closing my dice rolly window. Backstab. Yep. Stab in his back. I rolled a 15
Okay.
+2
Plus
for
2.
the backstab.
So that's 17. You're beating it by 4.
So plus another 2. So that's 6.
6
Plus
plus
5.
5. So 11.
+2 shields.
It's
So
dead.
13.
It's dead.
That's how you do it, son. I mean, Anne. All right. Is there anything fun and interesting with the purple one next to me?
No, you're not flanking it, so no bonuses.
Okay. So I am going to spend my other attacky attack to attacky attack.
Okay.
I rolled 16.
16. You're beating it by 3. So you're beating it by 2. That's another 2. So it's 5.
Plus 3 shields, so 8.
8. It's got 1 armor, so you're doing 7 damage.
How much health does it have?
It has 5 health left.
Okay. I will spend 3 SP
Okay.
and kill it.
Okay. Do you have any SP left, or that's it?
1 SP left.
You are on the objective and dropped, if you want to pick it up.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So you got the bloody cloth.
Yay!
And we get 2 loot cards. Okay, 8 gold. Oh, wait. I forgot to do something. And 8 gold. A loot token dropped where that root was that you guys killed.
So Twitch can grab that.
Yeah, Twitch can grab it. Just, you weren't adjacent to it anyway because the tentacle pulled you forward first.
Yep. All right. So that is the end of that. Oh, shit.
What?
Just realized that the other guy's going to pull me adjacent to him and do a shitload of damage to me.
So you're not in muck, so you're fine, but on your turn, you're going to end up adjacent to him.
Oh, and then I could just beat the shit out of him?
Yes. You're going to be in muck, though.
I'm going to be what?
You're going to be in muck.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
If you can get Anne or Josh, if you can get next to him so I can get that flanking bonus for next time, that would be just dandy.
The issue is you go first in the initiative track map.
Yeah. But I could do a lot of damage because I have 4 free attack.
The thing is, if I go next to him now, he's going to do 18 damage to me and kill me.
Yeah. I don't know. Can I just hold my turn so you can go, and then I'll go immediately after you?
No. If it wasn't for that, I'd be like, I'm totally up for it. It just...
Don't you have the thing to ignore damage from an attack, or is that just physical?
It's just physical. Or it's when it's an attack, not magic.
Well, we need to figure something out.
Yeah, it's all physical. Okay. So it's my turn. Is this impassable terrain? I can't tell.
You're the person that's actually there.
I know, but I can't see Bacall's colors.
Yes, it's impassable terrain.
It's impassable terrain? Okay. Alright. What can I do?
I don't know. Is there no way you can get adjacent to him without it killing you?
I don't think so.
And did you get that status token off of me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ann.
Do you like how my voice got an octave deeper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go collect that other objective token. If we could just
Okay.
leave the board if we want. Like, we just have to get to the exit.
Yeah. Because we just needed to get all the objective tokens, or just get to the exit.
We just need to get to the exit. We don't have to get. You don't even need the objective tokens.
Nightingale is resistant to magic, so it would only do 9 damage to her.
Yeah, and it's a spell 6, so like there's still a chance that like they can not get hurt, and they have the best. Chance for that.
Yeah, so they can book it on over there at the beginning of their turn, and then I can be flanking, and then hopefully explode them.
Yeah, I don't know if they can get all the way over there yet, though. It might take them 2 turns to get there.
Well, that's unacceptable.
I got the yellow
Not if
one.
they use their SP gain ability.
All right, so yellow. You find a patch of loose skin covered in gore. It looks like the Soul Stitcher discarded some of Echo's spare parts. So I got a patch of skin. I don't know why I have like the need to collect this stuff.
She has
skin.
It's an extra muffin top.
stupid.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
It is now Nightingale's turn. Let me come off.
So first they're gonna get that loot that's next to them, right?
I'm giving Courage and Barrier to the sword because he was in my line of sight.
Can you give it to me?
You were not in my line of sight, so I was not able to.
You're a dick.
The sword was just in my sight.
Why do you keep on? All I am is a sword right now, and you're stealing the little bit of whatever it is that I got. That's so
Because
rude,
I'm
man.
about to explode the Soul Stitcher.
So, did they want to check the loot first?
Yeah.
All right. So they go up to max. They spend 1 SP. They found the yellow loot.
What is it?
You find the corpse of another creature trapped in vines. Shuffle monster loot for the Gatekeeper, Bloody Guardian, and Merchounds. Then gain 1 random card from this deck.
That's cool. So then, how much SP do they have now, Josh?
They're at 4 SP.
And they still can Doom Break, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we Doom Break them now?
Sure. Just a second. Matt, pick a number 1 through 4.
3.
Got the tail whip.
Your equipped weapons have reach 2 when making a jump check. Add +2 to the result. Oh, so Josh wants this one.
It's a green die though. It's not like. Is that super good?
All right. So now Josh, have him roll a black die.
Okay. Black die. Pop it. The Gatekeeper one would have been really cool if they got that one.
Well, we didn't.
They keep their Doom Break, so that 5 SP.
Okay, so how much do they need to move over adjacent to the big scary guy?
All right, so they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14 spaces.
Okay, their base movement is 6.
Technically, they don't even need to move that far because he will pull 4.
When will he pull 4 before my
At the-
turn?
Yeah, at the beginning of his turn.
Oh, okay. So yeah, move him just close enough to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. The only thing is that they pass their skill check, they won't get pulled. Shit. We have an issue here.
What?
So so they're gonna get pulled by it, then the tree root's going to pull them.
Oh. Unless they pass their skill check for the tree.
Yeah.
I mean, how much SP do they still have?
They still have 2 SP.
So they can technically spend one more move adjacent to the big scary guy.
But the root's still going to pull them.
And then attack it is what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
So we can start doing some damage to it.
No, they're going to be down to 1 SP, and they're in muck now.
Oh, okay. So we got to hope that they fail the first check and pass the second check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So is that the end of their turn then?
Yep. Just trying to think if that's the
All
good
right.
spot to stop them, but yeah. Okay.
Who's up next?
And first Esper.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to be away from the tree, right? 6 away from the tree. What was kind of within 4 of you?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you could be in,
Those.
it doesn't matter if you're near the root too much because you get pulled. But if you're close enough to Zeke, you can give him your bonus for the final damage, the bag full of organs.
So do you have a spot in mind that fulfills those requirements?
So Matt, you're gonna pretty much move here, right? Is that your idea? He left. Oh, so he's there. I think if you go right there, you're good.
Okay. So, and that only cost him my 1, so I still have 2.
Yep.
So does he have anything on him?
No, he's good now.
Does he already have barrier?
He does not have barrier.
So then let's use magic armor to give him barrier.
Okay.
So Matt, if you stay within LFE's sphere of influence, if your final damage is greater than 0, you're going to deal additional physical damage equal to the target's armor value.
Oops, I was muted.
Oh, but
Cool. What's her sphere of influence?
4.
4.
So if I'm adjacent to him, I'm technically in sphere of influence?
Yep.
Cool. Does he have any armor?
He has 2 armor.
Cool. So it's Mr. Sword's turn?
Yes, it's Mr. Sword's turn.
Cool.
So my sword has 3, 1, 2. Where are you going, Matt?
I
Eventually.
think he's planning to go here.
Who knows?
Yep. Right there.
My lag completely missed where Josh planted, so I still have no idea.
Diagonal of where he is now.
Next to the Merkhound.
Okay, so if I go 2 to the right and 2 up, my sword is going to die. Are you going to kill this thing?
I sure hope so. How much health does it have, Josh?
It's 30 health.
Yeah, I'm going to kill it.
Is it 3 or 30?
30.
30. I'm assuming it doesn't have 3.
So bag full of organs says damage. That means all sources.
Yep.
Correct. I can put the sword to the right of the orange merhound.
Next
Does
to
that
the
help
flower?
you?
Not
Yeah.
really. I mean, it would help if the sword lives and then something else gets pulled away so I can remain flanking.
Yeah.
So if you think the sword will survive, then yes, it's helpful. It's a risk mitigation, potentially.
I don't think the sword will survive. Spells like Gore Shot and skills like Aura of Hate. Oh, I didn't even consider that. That's a very good point. So what Shadowner is saying is not just melee attack
Yeah.
damage, but if it gets spell damage or whatever else, it'll also take the armor value damage.
That's cool.
That's cool. But the ally needs to be within SOI.
Yep.
So Nightingale's within SOI.
Yeah.
So that would be really good. Okay.
Oh.
I need to.
What are you doing, Ann?
Well, you said oh.
Waiting
I
for
was
you
gonna
to
put.
finish your
I
row.
should have put a Nemesis token on the Corpse Collector. I forgot to do that on my
Are
turn.
you okay?
I can move one to the right and one up and attack the Merhound then, I suppose.
Okay. So move in here.
Holy lag, Batman. Yeah. That's not your way, right, Matt?
No.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, and then let's use Serrated Edge, which is a teal and an orange. I hate my life. This is terrible. I rolled a 9. It does nothing. Great.
Okay, so
On
whose
to
turn is
you.
it now?
It's the Merhounds.
Okay.
So can it move? Can it move and attack multiple opponents? Yes. Move to as many adjacent opponents as possible. So it's going to move here. It's going to get a break attack. The sword's going to get a break attack against Dan. So go ahead and roll again.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Does
It's not
a
gonna do
10 help?
No.
Now.
Great.
And now it's going to attack you. So you get the
I'm
dodge.
going to dodge. I rolled a skull, so I just get +2 shields. I really don't know what's wrong with these.
Josh's
You're
programming.
the worst dice.
Okay, it rolled a 16. It has a defense
I'm
of
dead.
12, so it's 4. Just wait. It's doing 4 damage. It's got 3 books, so that's 7 damage.
I'm dead.
No, you're not.
My health is 4.
You have physical resistance, physical damage, so you take half damage.
So that's 3.
So it's 3 damage. You have 4 health. You're alive with 1 health, Ann.
Okay.
Matt, you're gonna attack now.
I'm gonna dodge. I rolled 3 shields.
It rolled a 6.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I do 1 damage back to it.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to get pulled closer because it's the other guy's turn.
No,
I'm going to get a
corpse
break
col-
attack
no.
against me.
Corpse. Ugh. It's the corpse collector's turn, so whoever's in muck is gonna get pulled. You're not in muck, Matt, so you're fine.
Oh, okay.
So the sword needs to roll a black die, and chat needs to roll a blue and a purple die.
Blurple.
Four books.
All right, so you don't move. Oh, the tentacles are supposed to move 2 spaces closer to a thing.
That rolled a 10.
Chat rolled a
This
10.
is the tentacle. This is not the tentacle pull. This is the
This is
big,
the corp.
scary monster.
Yeah.
Corpse collector pull.
They rolled a 10, so that's going to pull them. This time I was going to move 2.
Why did the Merchound move up a space?
To attack the both of you. Kind of mess things up.
Be adjacent to as many as possible.
Yep. Is there any opponents adjacent? Casted spell 6, targeting them. So they have a castness of a Great Eye. And Twitch has a blue and purple conviction. So, roll well, chat. Roll well.
Why?
Because this is the spell 18.
Ah.
So it rolled an 8. So it's a 14 they
That's
need to beat.
15.
They rolled a 10
Oh.
plus a 1. Wait a second. It's 11. Let's reroll that 1 with their dress.
So they need to roll 4 or higher? Or 5 or higher?
So they also get plus 1 for books to this roll. So they're at 11 right now. So they need to roll 4 or higher. They rolled a 5 plus a book.
Oh.
So they're good.
So they're fine.
Yep.
Also, we can companion, if anything. That's true. Okay.
It doesn't spawn anything because it's an
Yay.
otherwise.
That's good.
Then
So now
up,
tree's going to go.
the tree's going to go. Nightingale needs to do another check, and you need to do a check.
Okay.
So... And this is a check.
I rolled 2.
You definitely lose.
Does that pass?
Who rolled? Was that me or was it you that rolled? Why are you rolling my garbage rolls?
Twitch passes, which is great. So you're going to get pulled. Because you're getting pulled, the Merchound's going to get a break attack against you.
I'm going to dodge. 2 shields.
So you're going to do 2 magic damage back to it.
Yes. They rolled 8, so I'm fine.
You're fine. All right, cool. So now you're there. And that's it.
Yeah, and technically I was flanking it, so it's another defense on it.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's my turn.
Your turn. You have the tentacle, so you're going to move 2 spaces closer. Boom. You're adjacent to it now.
Yay.
Just on the other side.
Okay.
Sadly, you don't have the Esper in your the Esper support, sadly.
Whatever. Am I in muck or no?
You are in muck.
Okay.
If you wanted to move to a non-muck space, you could. You will get a break attack against you.
I'm going to activate my chalice, which ignores break attacks.
Okay.
Go ahead and move me to a non-muck space.
All right. So this corner over here next to my Rook is a non-muck space. Only non-muck space next to this monster.
Okay, so I have full SP and a whole shitload of attacks. Let's have some fun.
The frat cup of awesomeness.
First attack, I rolled a 13, Josh. What's defense?
Its defense is a 15. You get +2 to your roll, so you match.
Mm-hmm.
So what do your symbols give you?
Hold on. I am now going to activate the fortune cookie.
Okay.
I add 3.
Okay.
So I have a 16 plus 2 for flanking. So I rolled 18.
18. So you're beating it by 3. You get +2. Another 5 for the backstab. So you're at 10.
Plus another 4 for my symbols.
Okay. So 14.
Okay.
Down to 16 health.
And I'm going to use my other free attack. I rolled a 11. I'm going to activate my liar's dice now and change that 3 to a 9. So I have a 17.
You have 3 relics equipped at the moment, so I'm not sure what 3 you have.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
So I would
so-
have 1 free attack. I have the cup, and I've got the liar's dice.
Okay.
So I have 17
17.
plus 2. That's 19.
Okay.
I don't remember what his defense is.
You beat it by 4. Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Plus 5. That's 11.
And another 6 from my symbols.
All right, it's dead.
I still have all my SP.
Yep.
And more attacks.
You're not in my SOI anymore.
Okay, so what do we get from killing him, Josh?
Got 7 gold.
He was cheap.
I wish we
Okay.
got the monster loot card because that was a 200 gold card.
Ooh. Okay. I am going to spend an SP to move adjacent to the root.
The root? Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing else on the board for me to do, right?
You could attack the Muckhound.
Yeah. Let me actually go to the Merchound because then he'll drop some loot, right?
Yeah, you're just going to be mucked to do it, though.
That's fine.
Okay.
You're just gonna run to the exit on your turn, anyways, right?
If that's what we want to do.
Considering the time and how
Okay.
far away we are from the tree, I would say yes.
Unless we want to kill the root. The roots drop treasure chest.
Oh, I'm
Any
sorry. Okay, I didn't think that they were dropping things. So yeah, put me next to that root.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm gonna spend my other free attack, my actual
Okay.
relic,
Okay.
and I rolled an 8.
That doesn't do anything, Matt.
Are you sure? Because I'm not flanking, right?
No. No.
Am I in muck here?
No, you're not a muck. You're in normal terrain.
Okay, so then I'm gonna spend 2 SP to attack. I rolled an 18.
18. You're beating it by 8. Oh, you have 2 stars. It's dead.
Yeah, I exploded it.
All right.
Um,
Then there's a
can I
loot
do-
token
and
there.
then I'm gonna spend 1 SP to grab the loot.
Got the red loot. Looks like someone scattered a bunch of gold coins here. Gain amount of gold equal to a perception check. Each adventurer may make this check.
Oh,
Oh, even the exhausted ones?
no.
That's
So that perception check.
I actually rolled well. I rolled a 12.
Yeah,
I don't know what my perception is.
it's 2, so you're gonna get a 14. All right. Anything else you do if you turn him out?
There's nothing else I can do. I don't
You could
think.
throw Ezra at the Mercount.
Sure, why not?
So roll a purple die.
1.
1. He's got 1 armor. Do you have any SP left?
I have 2.
You can keep flipping him back over.
Is it 1 SP?
It's 2 SP.
I'm gonna flip him back over and I'm gonna throw him again. And I rolled another 1.
You don't do anything, Matt. You're useless.
Okay. Oh well. All right, your turn.
Yeah, my turn.
Go run to that exit.
You want me to run the exit, or you want to let Twitch and the sword kill the Merchound?
Sure. I want to go to bed though. So make it fast.
All right, so my turn. They already have everything they could have on them, so I'm not really doing anything. Nightingale's turn. You guys want to pew it? You guys want to stab it? You're next to it.
Shoot it.
Shoot it. All right, so they're going to roll green, and it has 2 teal dice.
Now, what's its health left?
It has 9 health.
Okay, so 2 pews will take care of it.
They can actually use their staff first. They could possibly one-shot it. So let's say this is staff. Let's see what it rolls.
It's a good hit. And they rolled a.
Dun, 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 dun. A 6. So he's got 3 health left.
Okay.
Let's clear that green. 2 more teals.
Is it 2 teals?
Yeah.
Oh, plus armor?
Oh, plus armor. Yeah. So you're going to do an additional damage.
So they won't need to spend the extra health
Yep.
to kill it here. And it's dead.
It's dead. So they get a loot.
Yay.
8 gold. And then we could just end the encounter.
Okay.
Because nothing else is going to happen.
Alrighty. So what do we get from winning?
Sure.
Yeah. The tree can't do anything. The other root's on the outside of the board.
We have a special thing because we got the story flag for the partnership.
Partnership. So win condition.
Yeah.
If the party
Here.
marked the story flag reluctant partnership, we're going to read a special thing, but that's later. But
Yep.
Josh, what's the red text say for the reward?
We all get an XP.
Yay! Alrighty, so that is going to conclude today's episode of Twitch Plays Middara. Make sure that you're joining us for all of our upcoming streams. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing our continuation of Twitch Plays Kingdom Death, where we do an ongoing campaign of Kingdom Death Monster with you fine folks rolling some more dice with us. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and most importantly, chat with us in our Discord channel where
We cursed the stupid freaking dice that killed me a bajillion times and gave me terrible rolls tonight. We cursed them.
if you have
Aggressively.
Amazon Prime, you've got Prime Gaming,
Yes.
which means you get a free sub that we would love if you used on us. And if you had to pick one sub for Josh to eat for the rest of his life, which sub would you pick?
Oh my god, a veggie sub.
Subway's Veggie Delight.
Yes. He'd be so happy.
Alrighty. I don't know. Anything else?
That's it from me, I
You
think.
guys have KDM tomorrow?
That's what I just said.
You doing anything fun? You're doing your Super Serial campaign.
Yeah. Fighting the Butcher.
Which
Level
I'm not
3
excited
Butcher.
about. Butcher's a pain in the ass.
You guys? I was gonna say you guys don't have the greatest track record with the butcher, do you?
The level 3 Butcher, no.
Just
This
because
is
it was
probably
one card.
the one that's killed the most of our high level people, considering all the stupid other shit we fought. It's, But yeah, join us for that, and then join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for more Twitch Plays Middara. But for now, signing off, I'm Matt.
And
I'm Josh.
We're Twist Gaming. Good night, everyone.
Night.